All right, friends, welcome. Hello, good to see you here. Another one of our Slant Alpha adventures getting underway, and do appreciate you joining us as we are live from Studio 5 just outside of Ocean City, Maryland. Now in the sim, we are at one of my college rivals airports. We are at KUNV, University Park, Pennsylvania, the home of Pennsylvania State University. Penn State is there, commonly known. Right in the middle of Pennsylvania, smack dab in the center of the state. Right where their main campus is located. So KUNV at Class Delta Towered Airfield, right in the middle of Pennsylvania. We are joining the Virtual USA Flying Club. We're going to be doing a little GA invasion of Cleveland ARTCC's event tonight called Flight of the Living Dead. They are featuring Pittsburgh International Airport, a little zombie tribute. But we are going to be flying into Allegheny County, a little Class Delta just outside of Pittsburgh's Class Bravo airspace, actually kind of tucked up underneath a shelf of the Pittsburgh Class Bravo airspace. So we're joined here by a handful of friends from the Virtual USA Flying Club, and we are going to be getting started with the club briefing in just a few moments. Now you'll notice that we started the stream just a little bit early, about 10 minutes till the top of the hour. 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time is our normal stream start time. However, we decided to start the stream title run just a little early to allow you guys to get connected and me to do a little bit of an intro prior to the club briefing, which when they do these events, JetPilotCinnamon likes those briefings to start right at the top of the hour or whatever the event start time is pretty promptly. So we expect here in about another 5 seconds he's going to get underway with that club briefing, so we'll turn it over to him.
Thanks for coming in today, everybody. If you take a look at what I'm streaming to the Discord, we'll kind of just go through real quick the routing specifically, and then we'll talk more about how we're going to want to get in line with the speed of our aircrafts and things like that. But we'll talk specifically about the route first, since that's kind of the most important part tonight. This is going to be a traditional group flight. This is going to kind of go back to what we used to do a lot back when we first started the Virtual USA Flying Club. Was a lot of everyone kind of following in the same line, in the conga line. Just like old days, I'm going to lead the pack. I'm going to be the first person to depart in the Mooney, and so on. But we're going to take off here out of State College. It's runway 6 based on the wind, and it's a right traffic out of this airport off of runway 6. So we're all going to do right downwind departures to the west. So we'll do the full right downwind off of runway 6, and then when we kind of clear the airport area, then we'll head out westbound. And we're almost flying due west pretty much until we get to right around the McVille Airport. That's 6 Papa 7 out to the west there, getting towards Pittsburgh. That's going to help us to join up on the Allegheny River. Now going west on that first part, which is about 80 miles, you can go at either 4,500 or 6,500. That's going to be kind of the pilot's choice initially. For that first part, going just pretty much due west towards the Allegheny, 4,500 or 6,500 feet, your choice. Once you join up on the Allegheny River, right around that McVille Airport, the rest of it is pretty much just following the river. However, once you do start following the river southbound, we ask that you descend to 2,500 feet. And we should all be at that 2,500 feet going southbound along the river. We're going to follow it as it snakes, left, right, zigzag, zigzag, and you're just going to follow the river all the way down to the city of Pittsburgh. And you want to be careful then. Once you get close to the city, then you're going to want to get down to about 2,200 or 2,300 feet. So 2,200, 2,300 feet. That's going to just assure that we don't get into the Class Bravo. That'll keep us below not only the 3,000 foot shelf, but the 2,500 foot shelf as well. That just barely is kind of in that area where the three rivers meet. So as long as you're at 2,300 feet, that should give you plenty of clearance, at least 500 feet over all of the bridges that are out there, all the tall obstacles and bridges that are all along the river there, and keep you also below the Class Bravo airspace. Now, as you're approaching the point, that's when you're going to want to go ahead and make the call to Allegheny Tower. And you can just call them and say, whatever your call sign is, we're just along the Allegheny River here to the north of the city, 2,300 feet, inbound for a full stop with whatever the information is going to be at Allegheny County at that time. We do have a dedicated tower at Allegheny County to make sure that we're not interrupting really with what's going on over at Pittsburgh. And that's kind of the idea. We're kind of inserting ourselves into this Flight of the Living Dead event tonight without actually being a nuisance to Pitt International while they deal with all of their jet traffic. And kind of in a way, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing the rest of the network, hey, look at us. There's a bunch of GA guys. This looks kind of like fun on a Tuesday night. Maybe we'll encourage some people to do some more GA stuff at future VAT USA events. But that's the specific routing. If you have any questions about the specific routing, we'll get to the end. Again, I have not only the route map, but the written description out in the briefing if you need to read through it one more time. Yeah, we're all going to be in GA prop aircraft or helicopters. I don't know if we have any helicopters, but if we do, great. The way we're going to space ourselves out is by speed. And what I mean by speed, I mean by cruise speed. So I'm going to be taking off in a Mooney. I'm going to be cruising about a $170 in the Mooney. And I'm going to be leading the pack tonight. I'll be the first person to take off out of Allegheny County. And in theory, I should be the first person to take off out of State College Regional. In theory, I should be the first person to land at Allegheny County. The idea with the faster aircraft taking off first, the middle of the pack speed aircraft taking off towards the middle, and the slower aircraft taking towards the back of the line is we want to try to prevent any kind of passing along this conga line since we're all doing the exact same route. Now, is there going to be some passing? I'm sure there is. It's not going to be perfect. I don't expect it to be perfect, but the idea is we want to try to minimize the amount of passing that happens. So if you're in an aircraft that's doing 150 knots or greater at cruise, you're going to want to be towards the front of the line. If you're doing between about a $120 to about a $150, then you're going to want to be towards the middle of the pack. If you're going to be cruising slower than 120, you're going to want to try and wait till about the end of the line to take off. And again, I'll be the first person to depart this evening, just like we used to do in the old school days. And I'll kind of lead the charge here, lead the conga line into Allegheny County. And then the only other real thing that I ask you to do is to file a VFR flight plan. And again, that's just for kind of recognition on VATSPI and VATSIM radar and all those things so that people can see, hey, there's like 14, 15 guys that are flying from University Park, State College to Allegheny County, all GA. And it's just a good way to kind of promote the flying club, promote the brand, and promote GA in general. So that's kind of what we're looking at when we do those kind of things. And the weather, thank God, is great because usually when I run a Virtuous Safe Flying Club event, the weather is garbage, but this is about as nice of a VFR night as you could ask for. I would encourage you to fly real time because this is a spooky event, so it would probably be best to be flown in the dark. However, that's entirely up to you. I'm not going to judge you one way or the other. If you decide to fly in the daytime, it makes no difference to me. Just a suggestion for the type of event that it is. The only real things that you need to worry about, there is a little bit of terrain, nothing crazy though. When you take off out of here, on either side, there's a little bit of like a small mountain range, goes up to, I think the highest point along our route of flight is like 2,500 feet. That's why we're cruising at 4,500 or 6,500 feet. Just keep that in mind in terms of terrain. And then, of course, the Pittsburgh Class Bravo is the other big thing that we need to avoid. And that's going to be the scariest part about tonight is avoiding the Pittsburgh Bravo. If I find out that anyone busts the Bravo for this flight tonight, then that, just like I put in the briefing, that's going to be a fate worse than death for you. And obviously, I say that. I'm joking, of course, but let's try to avoid the Pittsburgh Class Bravo along the route that we've got here. And that's why I have the specific altitudes listed for that second half of the flight so that we can avoid the Bravo. And again, since we have the dedicated tower at Allegheny, make sure you make the call before entering the Delta. My recommendation is to make the call while you're still on the Allegheny River just to the north of the city is probably going to be the best place to kind of make that call. That's going to be about 8-9 miles, I believe, to the north of the field, essentially, is when you're going to be making that call. And that's a loose guess. It could be a little bit less, but that's the idea. Is you want to make that call before you get to the point where the three rivers meet to then make sure you're going to have the appropriate clearance. And it's going to be runway, last I checked, it was runway 10 most likely. Wind 090 at 6, yeah. So it's going to be runway 10 at Allegheny. So we can all probably expect to join either a left downwind or a left base for runway 10 coming off of our route to do the landing in Allegheny. And then we're going to park over by like the general aviation parking near the terminal, or the upper west ramp is preferred area for parking once we all kind of get back together on the ground there. And that is more or less what I have for you guys in terms of the briefing. If anybody has any questions about the route or anything else, now would be the time. All right, sounds like everyone's kind of got a handle on what's going on then. Like I said, make sure you file the VFR flight plans. The reason why I asked for that, again, is just for good recognition for us, and so that obviously also the controllers know exactly what we're doing. They can all see, you know, and again, both NY ARTCC, the guys that we have on ground and tower for us at State College, and then all the guys over at Cleveland are fully aware of the situation. Of what we're doing, our route, that we're going into Allegheny, that we're going to be avoiding the Bravo, everything. So we should be all well coordinated on that. In terms of flight following, I'm going to leave that up to you guys, but they are doing the event into Pittsburgh. There's a chance that they might be a little bit too busy to handle the flight following, but maybe they're not. I'm not sure. I don't know the frequency for Cleveland Center. That would be the initial frequency. But again, I'm going to leave that kind of at club member discretion. But obviously, departing the Delta University Park and arriving into the Delta at Allegheny, you obviously have to talk to your traffic controllers there. And again, faster aircraft towards the front, slower aircraft towards the back. That's kind of how we want to space ourselves out. And nobody goes until I go. So you're going to wait till you hear November 124 my Charlie taxi on out to runway 1 or runway 6 here at State College before the rest of the conga line gets going. Just like the old days, for the guys that have been here since the start, you'll all remember that that's how we used to do it most of the time. But anyways, again, does anybody have any questions for me?
Just one.
Go ahead.
Ben.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going to see if you could say what you're saying about the... Oh, sorry. Hang on. No, go ahead. I gotta do something real quick. Go ahead.
Who else had the question?
We'll be below the departure shelf. We won't have to talk to them, correct? Just making sure.
You're talking about over in Pittsburgh. The
arrival, yeah.
The idea is that, yeah, as long as we are all abiding by the altitudes that I have listed, if you're at the 2,300 feet, right at that last little bit when you're getting closer to the point, that should keep you below all of the Class Bravo shelves.
Gotcha. And for those of us that haven't done a conga line flight before, what are some like easy tips to kind of help maintain distance so we're not too close or we don't end up backing up people behind us, that kind of thing?
Yeah, and then some of it is just kind of visually. If you see that you're creeping up on the guy in front of you, you can kind of just slow yourself down. Or if you can figure out who is the person in front of you, whether it be via their call sign or we can communicate in this channel too and be like, hey, I think it's 6 Bravo Whiskeys in front of me. What speed are you going? So then you can kind of ask each other and know, what speed you're doing, so you can kind of adjust yourselves accordingly. And again, if there is passing, it's not the end of the world. The idea is we're just trying to avoid as much of it as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Benjamin, are you put back together? You have a question?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thanks, man.
All right. Does anybody else?
Patrick, what are you flying tonight?
Patrick?
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Flying the new, normally aspirated, Bonanza.
Okay, cool, thanks.
All right, does anybody have any other questions? All right, like I said, once you get connected to the network, make sure to file the VFR flight plan, please, from State College, University Park over to Allegheny. And in about, just give me 3 minutes to get kind of set up on my end, and you guys will hear me on the ground frequency make the call. Just let me call first and taxi out first to get the conga line started. I just need 3 minutes to get myself fully prepared here, so bear with me on that. But between those now and then, those 3 minutes, if you do have questions, let me know.
All right, sounds like there aren't too many questions. So you guys saw that in order for me to be near the front, because we're going to be cruising at about 150 knots You know, it reads 170, but it's 170 miles an hour. 150 knots or thereabout in the Piper Comanche. So we're going to want to be toward the front of the pack, and because of that, I wanted to kind of get the pre-flight walk around and then pre-trip inspection underway. So normally I talk through that as I go, so you'll understand what I'm looking at. But really, just wanted to get that started while Mike was continuing his briefing there. So. So I went ahead and got started with that. Okay, now let's do battery switch all the lights. Let's do a second real quick trip just to verify all the lights are working. You know, we got the green landing light there. You can see the strobe from almost every position. We got the landing light there. We got red, and let's see if we got the beacon up top. That'll be the last one we need to look at. Yep. Okay. All good. All right, so let's close that up. Close that up. And I think we can put that away. And let's get this party started, friends. Underneath, let's check to make sure. Come on, where's my click spot to get rid of my yoke? There we are. None of the circuit breakers are popped. We can get the strobe and landing lights off for now. We'll leave the other ones on.
All right, so I'm moving on out, guys. So like I said, if you're in a fast aircraft, if you know you're going to be doing like 150 plus in the cruise, like the Mooney, I'm going to be doing about $170. Then you guys want to kind of start to get towards the front of the line. 120 to 150, you want to be towards the middle, and if you're doing less than $120, maybe try to wait towards the end of the line.
Okay, fuel pressure. Pull the primer about 3 times, maybe 4 times. Leave the fuel pump on. Throttle come back down to about 10%. Mags right, left, both. Clear, 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 clear. Okay. RPMs to 1,000. Oil pressure does indeed come up right away. Fuel pump off. Fuel pressure remains. That's good. Clean the mix out right to the point where it starts to drop. We're good. I'm going to close the windows there and there. Let's get the avionics on. COM1, COM2. Altimeter. I'm sorry, transponder rather. And ADF. We can do a real quick check of the ATIS. 3021. Field elevation here is get the airport diagram open. 1231. Okay, perfect. That's what's showing on the altimeter. And directional gyro, we're parked at about a 153. Yeah, so let's spin that around. Get that sorted out. We're going to take off on runway 6. And on course, we said it, Mike said we're going to do a right downwind on our on course. And for us, like, we're going to navigate this visually. So I know he said just due west to this little airport way out here, 80 miles west. I'm going to choose one that's a little closer, a 299er for 22 miles. So we'll have to do a right downwind, and then we'll end up probably south and west of the airport, and then we'll cut up to the north. You know, okay, so if we go 5 miles out, then it's going to be about a 330 to that first lake there. So mark that as our on course heading after the right downwind departure and 5 mile downwind leg, and then a 330 to the first lake. All right. Takeoff flaps set. Control surface is good. Takeoff trim is there. I know I got some friends to say hi to in the chat as well. And yeah, let's rock and roll. We're going to head out to runway 6, so we're going to come out here and make a right-hand turn on 2572 and then 2847.
(2847) for 81 Bravo. And number 1253 Charlie, contact University Tower on 13.47.
Sorry, 1347, thanks for coming out tonight, buddy.
Information, Juliet.
Number 6 Bravo Whiskey, contact New York Tower, I'm sorry, University Tower on 13.47.
2847 over to Tower, 6 Bravo Whiskey, see ya.
Number 157 Charlie X-ray, runway 6 at Alpha 3, taxi via Alpha, hold short of Alpha 3.
We got information, and Juliet.
Okay, taxi via Alpha, hold short of Alpha 3 for 157, Charlie.
University Park Ground, Comanche 514 Delta Victor is the main FBO ramp looking for taxi. We get information, Juliet.
Comanche 154 Delta Victor, runway 6 at Alpha 3, taxi via Delta Alpha 3.
Alright, Delta Alpha 3 to runway 6 at Alpha 3, 514 Delta Victor.
State College Ground, Bonanza 585, Romeo Alpha GA ramp with Juliet to look at the taxi via park departure to Colfax.
Bonanza 585, Romeo Papa, University Ground, hello, runway 6 at Alpha 3, taxi Delta Alpha 3.
Okay, so this is Delta.
Alpha 3 to runway 6, Bonanza 585, Romeo Papa.
And number 157 Charlie X-ray, you'll be following the each craft on your left, there'll be a sequence.
Okay, copy that. We'll be following the beach craft on our left with 157 Charlie X-ray.
Some friends to say hi to in the chat. Papa Charlie stopped in. Kenny Monster is here. Iowa Scotsman is here. And Apocalypse, please. Man, am I grateful you're simulating daylight in the sim. Yeah, always. Almost always.
Number 157 Charlie X-ray, contact University Tower 128.47. Number 518 Whiskey Mike, contact University Tower on 128.47.
2847, and we have the Bonanza in sight that we're following there straight ahead. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Alright, thanks for flying. Number 514 Delta Victor, contact New York, University Tower on 128.47.
2847, 514 Delta Victor, we'll see it.
We'll see.
Delta, runway 6, clear for takeoff.
Right, downwind departure, report clear the Delta 6 clear for takeoff, November 1253 Charlie.
I'm sorry, I keep doing this. It's runway 6 at Alpha 3, clear for takeoff.
Yep, runway 6 at Alpha 3 clear for takeoff, 53 Charlie. I made the same mistake.
Yo, good luck with your flight, guys.
Thank you.
Alright, I'm going to do a real quick run up here.
University Tower, number 6 bar west, east short of
Leave it
runway
leaned
6,
out.
Alpha 3.
Bravo West, University Park Tower, good evening. Runway 6 at Alpha 3, line up and wait.
Runway 6 at Alpha 3, line up and wait, 6 bar west.
So there's 3 flexes of the prop lever.
Number 1181 frequency change.
Enrich the mix, retune for 2,000 RPMs. Whoa, we got a huge mag drop on that left side.
Hey Tower, this is Bonanza.
Right mag's looking good, left mag's not looking good.
Runway 6, ready to go. Airborne departure to the west, right traffic.
157 Charlie X-ray, University Park Tower, evening.
We're gonna leave that high power on. See if we can burn off some of that excess carbon.
120 at 8. Take right downwind departure to the west. Report clear the Delta, runway 6 at Alpha 3, clear for takeoff.
Right downwind departure to the west. We'll report clear.
Yeah, that left mag is not happy, and we should be aborting this trip right now. We should go get that fixed. But we're not going to do that. We're going to yellow it. See, now it's only dropping 100. Okay, so it's a little bit better. Running it at high power, nice and leaned, helps kind of clear it out a little bit, so hopefully we'll be okay. That is definitely something we would want to be certain was working properly and not doing that real hesitation and sputtering and all that stuff before we left here. In the sim, we're going to go ahead and take the chance. In the real world, that'll get you killed.
November 157 Charlie X-ray. Take right downwind departure to the west. Report clear the Delta. Runway 6 at Alpha 3, clear for takeoff.
Please, clear for track. Takeoff runway 6. We'll report back when we clear the Delta, right traffic. 7 Charlie X-ray. Take Launch Tower, Centurion 518 Whiskey Mike, short of 6 at Alpha 3.
Yeah, NAM 106 said the same thing was happening to me Monday on the river run. It wasn't happy at the lower RPMs, it cleared up at the higher. Yeah, so this A2A Comanche does simulate what they call plug fouling, right? So leaving it idle on the ramp at low power, sometimes you get this excess buildup of carbon deposits on the spark plug tips. That's normal, and that's why you try to keep the engine leaned out
University Towers, November 8,
when you're
we are clear the Delta.
idling on the ramp. That'll minimize the amount of that happens. But if you need to burn that off, you literally just run the engine up at a higher power, nice and lean, and the spark plugs kind of clear themselves off as that happens. And the A2A Comanche does simulate all that. And I think, I mean, we'll do a real quick mag check again.
And we'll 6 at Alpha 3, we're clear to go.
Yeah, see, now it's only dropping about 100 RPMs. And then the same thing on the other side, so it seems to have cleared itself up.
Tower November 1253 Charlie, clear to Delta.
November 1253 Charlie, frequency change approved. See ya.
Good day.
And University Park Tower, Comanche 5 and 4 Delta Victor, we're first in line here, 24, correction, runway 6 at Alpha 3.
Comanche 514 Delta Victor, University Park Tower, good evening. Runway 6 at Alpha 3, line up and wait.
Alright, we'll line up and wait, runway 6 at Alpha 3, 5 and 4 Delta Victor. Alright, we're on the runway with the strobes.
6 for Whiskey, clear at Delta.
Number 6 Bravo Whiskey, frequency change approved. Good night.
Frequency change approved. See you. Thanks for staffing.
Big check.
No worries.
We're good. And then we'll hit the landing lights when we get, we'll get pitot and fuel pump on now as well, just so I don't forget. But we'll get the landing lights on when we get our takeoff clearance. That way, if anybody's crossing downfield ahead of us, they'll know if they see us sitting here, but while our landing lights are off, they'll know that we're not yet clear to go. Eagle, 737 guy, hitting us with the follow.
4 Delta Victor, we'll wind 120 runway 6 at Alpha 3, clear for takeoff. Make right downwind departure to the west.
Alright, right downwind departure and runway 6 at Alpha 3, clear for takeoff, 514 Delta Victor. Alright, takeoff power coming at you guys. Right rudder in, keep the center lines best as we can. Airspeed's alive. 80. Way we go. Hold the gear retraction until we're sure we're not going to need to return to the pavement. Okay, pitch for 105, best climb. Okay, we're good on the gear. Flaps. Fuel pump. Let me gently ease out that rudder input.
585 Romeo Papa.
Fresno J is here. What's going on, Fresno J? I was just talking about you today, man. Talking about how much I'm going to miss seeing you guys next week. Oh boy. Oh, well, he says, and yeah, indeed, same. Okay. Right crosswind. Check the pattern. I'm going to level at about 25. Yeah, these sim stutters are really, really upsetting me.
See ya.
University Tower, Skyhawk 239 Bravo Lima, over number 1, short Alpha 3, runway 6, correct. Number 239 Bravo Lima, University Park Tower, good evening, runway 6 at Alpha 3, line up away. Runway 6 at Alpha 3, line up away, 239 Bravo Lima. College Tower, Cessna right up at Foxtrot, we are at Alpha 3, behind Cessna, ready to take off.
Yeah, Jay, I'll come back to your message in just a minute, man. Hang on.
Number 489 Echo Foxtrot, University Park Tower, good evening.
Okay, there's our departure field.
Yes, State College, U.S.
Trying
clear the class Delta 3600, and have a good night. Thanks for being on.
518 Whiskey Mike, frequency change approved, see ya.
See ya.
Trying to kind of maintain clear of the clouds here.
Bravo Lima, wind 120 at 8, runway 6 at Alpha 3, clear for takeoff, make right downwind departure. Runway 6 at Alpha 3, make right downwind departure, clear for takeoff, 9 Bravo Lima. 9 Bravo Lima, report clear of the Delta. Oh, we will report clear of the Delta, 9 Bravo Lima.
Alright, guys, when I get a chance, I'm going to try and troubleshoot what's going on with the sim stutters here. This has been happening ever since I upgraded to Windows 11, and I took out as many components as I could think of that might be causing some of these, but it feels like it's getting worse, not better.
489 Echo Foxtrot, University Park. I got you with me, right? Affirmative. Echo Foxtrot, roger, wind 120 at 8, runway 6 at Alpha 3, clear for takeoff, make right downwind departure, report clear of the Delta. Clear for right downwind departure, runway 6, takeoff, and we'll report clear for Bravo, Delta, Echo Foxtrot. Match that, College Tower, Bonanza 585, Romeo Papa, clear the Delta on the top, proceeding westbound. 585 Romeo Papa, frequency change approved, right? Frequency change approved, Bonanza 585 Romeo Papa.
And Tower 514 Delta Victor, we're clear of the Delta to the southwest as well.
514 Delta Victor, frequency change approved, right?
Frequency change approved. We'll see you at 514 Delta Victor. So Jay says, we will miss having you. Got a bit more room and seats in the cockpit this year. Yeah, a little bit more realistic, huh? Was so happy when I finished the ramp into the cockpit. Much nicer, I'm sure.
University Park Tower, good evening, runway 6 at Alpha 3.
I'm sure. I've been. Matt, aka Defective Crayon, has been keeping us kind of updated on the progress and giving us pictures. It looks fantastic. All right, let me see if I can troubleshoot the sim stutters with a task manager pool here. See if I can see the process that's going on that I can identify, which is causing this.
November 395 Tango, make right downwind departure to the west, report clear of the Delta, runway 6 at Alpha 3, clear for takeoff.
Right downwind departure, we'll clear the Delta 6, clear for takeoff, 953.
Nothing's jumping out at me. Oh well, I will continue to investigate that.
Yeah, 9 Bravo Lima, we're clear of the Delta.
9 Bravo Lima. Change crew, see ya.
Anyway. So we're turning up to the north. We're going to try, and I'd probably passed this first lake and airport here, but we'll kind of cross the ridge line, see if we can see the ridge to the east, and see if we can identify that airport. We may be past that point. We'll see. See what we see. Let's at least go ahead and get up to our bona fide cruise power, and then we'll continue our climb up to 4,500. So 22 on the RPMs, 22 on the manifold. Let's get the mixed lean until we're running about 14 gallons an hour. I mean, you guys are you're seeing and hearing those stutters too, right? That's not just on my end. Okay, I think what I've turned up here, I've turned up this highway, and the airport and lakes should be out to our right, which I think I was starting to see a minute ago. Yeah, so there's that lake, there's that airport, so we're good. From that, we kind of want to do a 287.
University Park Tower, you can contact University Park Ground 125.7.
125.7.
Evening, everyone.
Alright, so there's 4,500. Eisenberg is back with us. We got the follow from Wrecker 1235. We got the resub from Heisenberg. Welcome, friends. Thank you so much. Alright, so 22. 14 on the,
Hey Darren, 95 Tango, clear the Delta. I appreciate you being here. We'll talk to you later.
95 Delta, Roger, see you. And Tower 489 Echo Foxtrot. 489 Echo Foxtrot, frequency change crew, see you. Roger, have a good day.
I knew I shouldn't have updated. I knew I should have left well enough alone with Windows 10. Alright, from this airport and lake, what did we say? We wanted to join about a 287, so I'm going to go ahead and set my green arrow to that. Let's make sure we're trimmed down. We're not picking up any additional altitude. Let's get it back down to 4,500. (22, 22, and 14). Whiskey Mike says, is it a known issue? I don't know, but all I know is nothing in my configuration changed other than I upgraded from Windows 10 to Windows 11, and all of a sudden I'm having all kinds of stuttering issues with the sim. It may be coincidence, but it's the only major change I made. And the stutters started happening at the same time. You know, everybody's computer's different, everybody's installation is different, everybody's setup is different. It's hard to say that You know, but just because it's the only, you know, it's only happening. You know, clearly it must be something I did. You know, who knows? I mean, every system is unique. But this was a very reliable, stable platform until I made this upgrade. And I'm just looking, I'm looking at the task manager over on the second screen to see if I can see something that gets called. Something with CPU threading, or yeah, Papa Charlie. It's all the same thing. It's happening. It's on my end and it's on your end. Memory use is minimal. I mean, you know, compared to capacity. GPU is stable. I'm not seeing any. Processes that shouldn't be running. Yeah, I don't know, guys. We'll deal with it, and I'll continue to investigate.
University Park Tower, Piper 2324 Kilo is at Alpha 3, holding short runway 4, ready for depart.
Kilo, University Park Tower.
Anyway, from that lake,
wind
we were on a 287, and we were going to go 22 miles and look for another fairly sizable lake.
2324 Kilo, runway 6.
Sorry, 24 Kilo, you can make a right downwind departure.
Should be coming up on that.
Right downwind departure to the left, report clear the Delta, 24 Kilo.
Number 247 Foxtrot Papa, University Tower.
Okay, I'm
Is that the lake?
holding at E3.
Is that the lake I was looking for? Jeez. Does it happen with other aircraft? Yeah, it's been happening. Was happening with the BA-46 the other night.
Sorry, 7 Foxtrot Papa. I was on a landline, runway 6 at Alpha.
This is the first time I've flown this since.
Lining up the way. Thank you very much.
It's worse. It seems worse with this one than with the BAE. The BAE was just real stuttery on approach and final and rollout. This is worse. Cold Nebo says, last time I saw this with the Comanche, the going theory was the sim couldn't keep up with the external flight model and the fix was to lower settings. Yeah, but again, You know, is it just Windows 11 is more resource heavy than Windows 10? Because it was fine when I ran this before. Yeah, it's a bit of voodoo for sure, Colt Nebo. Yeah, it's
Right. Departure to the left.
that's always the case.
Have a nice evening.
Yeah, Papa Charlie, we're still on 2020 now. Wonder if I can.
Number 24660 University Park Tower. I got you clearance on course. Stand by 1.
Yeah, I don't have it in the. Let's do a real quick general options. Graphics.
November 394 Alpha Mike,
50.
University Park Tower.
University Park Tower, good evening. 394 Alpha Mike. We have information Juliet looking for a VFR departure to the west.
November 394 Alpha Mike, University Park Tower, good evening. Make a right
down.
downwind departure. Report clear of the Delta. Wind 120 at 8, runway 6 at Alpha 3, clear for takeoff.
Make a right downwind departure and we'll report clear of the Delta. Clear for takeoff, runway 6, 394 Alpha Mike.
Line save.
November 24660, I got that clearance for you. Advised, ready to copy.
So some of the settings changes I made won't take effect. Some of them maybe will.
Clear to the Pittsburgh International Airport. Radar vector is Phillipsburg vortex. And then Haines 7 arrival. Maintain 2,000.
We'll see.
Or correction, maintain 16,000. Departure frequency 125.32.
So here's our next waypoint. We're going to go 262 for 36 miles.
4036.
Looking for this lake here. The 262. 27. 262. Now, of course, one thing we need to do is we need to update that.
160.
Update that directional gyro. It's possible that it's drifted a little bit out of alignment at this point.
For 24660, just verify that first waypoint radar vectors.
Still getting a little bit stutter, but maybe it's a little bit better. Not sure. No. Spoke too soon.
24660, read back correct. And advise ready for taxi. Advise ready for taxi 660.
Yeah, Cold Nebo says there's been discussions back and forth about pros and cons of a separate physics engine. Well, up until I upgraded from Windows 10 to Windows 11, it has not been a problem. This literally started this week. Yeah, that's what makes me mad.
Frequency change approved. Good evening.
Everything was fine. Now it's not fine. You know, it's been fine for years, literal years. Now it's not fine. That's the part that makes me mad. Seems like it might be a little bit better. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Cold Nebo. The sim has been running flawlessly, smoothly, wonderfully, reliably, with very, very few issues. And then last week I finally upgraded from Windows 10 to Windows 11 because the system was, kept pestering me to do it because the support, was running out. I'm always hesitant to tinker with it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. That's why I waited until the support ran out to do it. Yeah, I did.
That was the wrong thing, or whatever.
I did go through and change a lot of the graphic settings, Cold Nebo, already. It doesn't seem to have helped so far.
Hey, yeah, I've got an airspeed of about 156, 155 right now.
Alright, thanks.
So,
Are you off my tail to the right?
Yeah, I descended from 65 down to 45, and I was just trying to build a little bit of a
anyway,
gap
we
there.
passed that lake at 7:45.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
We're
Looks
going
like
36
we're good.
miles.
Once I cross
The
over
next
the airport
one.
here, I'm going to descend up to 25.
So what's that going to be? About 2.5 miles per minute. So 15. Yeah, 15 minutes. So right at the top of the hour. Yeah, so I made no changes. And I was reluctant to update from 10 to 11 because I was like, if everything's working fine, I don't want to tamper with it because everything's working fine. And all of a sudden, my worst fears realized. It wasn't broken, but I had to fix it anyway. Now it works so much worse than it did. It does seem like it's a little bit better, but some of the windows, the window that came up when I changed the settings, and some of those settings won't take effect until a restart of the sim.
Exchange approved. Thanks for your help.
So we'll do a restart after we land in Allegheny County. Maybe our second leg up to Burke Lakefront will go a little bit better. Of course, it might not. It might go a little bit better and then not look as nice. I guess we'll see. I mean, ultimately, I'd much rather have the sim work than look perfect.
November Alpha Charlie 2, a slight amendment to your route advised ready to copy.
So we're not at the.
5 November Alpha Charlie 2.
We're not at this lake yet. What we're seeing is way too small to be that one, but we might be at this one here.
Papa Sierra Bravo. Time 7 arrival. Maintain 16,000. Departure frequency 125.32. Squawk 1673.
Yeah, I feel like the stuttering has gotten a little bit better since we changed, lowered some of the visuals. But maybe restarting the sim will adjust the rest of those settings, and the second leg will go better. Fingers crossed. I hate the lower visual settings because, like I said, I don't want to sacrifice how nice this looks because the stupid operating system needs more resources. It's just depressing.
Correct. Pushes at your discretion. Call stack.
Have I tried auto FPS? No, I have not. No, this problem literally just started within the last week, so I haven't had a chance to do that yet. I'll give it a shot.
November 24660, runway 6, actually via Delta Alpha 1. Runway 6 via Delta Alpha 1, 667.
That's what we should do also. We loaded up the plane with 70 gallons, which is enough to cover leg 1 plus leg 2 plus alternates, reserves, and contingencies. 10 of those 70 gallons are in our tip tanks. We're burning 14 gallons an hour. So I should be able to switch to the tip tanks for just about 40 minutes. I'm assuming we're meant to run the fuel pump while we switch tanks. Fuel flow is still 14. Fuel flow is still 14. Fuel pump off. Yeah, fuel flow is still 14. Okay, we're good. So Cold says, I've been using it to stretch the life of my RTX 2070 Super. Yeah, and I have a 4080, you know, which should be running this just fine, you know? Yeah, thanks Microsoft. Thanks for helping. Any time now you can stop helping. Well, I know I'm a couple streams behind in terms of writing up the stream descriptions and getting them posted to YouTube. When I finally write up this stream description, it's going to be pretty much flew the Comanche, bitched about Windows. Enjoy the show. Alright, I think we are coming up on this lake here. Can we switch over to the TAC chart? Are we close enough? No, we're not close enough to Philly. I'm Pittsburgh TAC. Oh, there we are. Okay, yeah, we're not quite close enough to see it on the Pittsburgh TAC. Keystone Lake, that's what this is called. So yeah, knew I saw the name somewhere. Yeah, Cold Neva says the other half of the issues are servers, because a lot of people have commented that the real reason that a beta feels like a completely different sim is because fewer people are on the servers. Yeah, that makes sense too, although I will say people have consistently said that Flight Sim 2024 does perform more smoothly than 2020.
4660, fly runway heading, runway 6, clear takeoff, 1208.
We are getting ready to join the river. Let us see. Can we see? We got the ATIS information at Allegheny County. Bravo. 3015. Landing and departing runway 10. So after Keystone Lake, we want to turn to a 270. Tell you what, let's fly. Well, I'll tell you what, let's fly right over the lake. We'll take note of the time, and then we'll fly a 270 on the directional gyro.
Last calling University, 055.
But then let's take that moment to compare the directional gyro to the mag. It looks like it might be as far off as about 10 degrees.
Can we line back up?
Number 24660, A front, good takeoff clearance, Field Valley.
Takeoff clearance for 660.
And someone else is calling, still 055, all setting.
Okay, and the aux tanks. So the aux tank fuel gauge down here. Just need to watch that so we know when to switch back to the mains. So I'm flying about a 260 now, but this is showing we're about a 252. So let's get those to agree with each other first of all.
I'd like to request an Alpha 3 departure if available.
250.
7832 Papa, no worries, runway 6 at Alpha 3. Taxi via
Alright,
Delta.
so according
Alpha,
to
Alpha 3.
Sky Vector, we want to fly a straight off 270.
Alpha 3, 7832 Papa.
Number 24660, contact New York Center, LPN.
Is that a New York Center 660?
660, affirm their covering departure.
Roger. We'll get free entry, please, 666, right?
660, no worries, within your IFR clearance, it's 125.32.
125.20, about 660, I'll be on.
Okay.
Okay, and so we should be going 14 miles, which would be 6 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, 6 minutes. So 6 times 2 is 12. And then 6 times a half is 3, so 12 and 3 is 15, so just under 6 minutes. And I feel like we can see the river that we're about to join here anyway. Let's just also start getting our comm plan aligned. We're going to be on 21-1. Doesn't look like maybe there's not a ground or we're not close enough to see the ground, but 21-1 will be the tower frequency where we are headed.
Right, heading 10 clear to take off, pod 1. Algating Tower, Skyhawk 884.
As we make our way in along the river, that's when we got one of our colleagues up ahead. Maybe.
Number 884, roger, runway 10, taxi via Alpha, the Allegheny altimeter 3015.
10 via Alpha, Skyhawk 884.
November 4 Mike Charlie, base approved.
Turn base 4 Mike Charlie.
Allegheny Tower, November
So we got
125,
possibly one of our colleagues up here, so we're going to start descending, come in behind them, 2,500 down the river.
Roger, entry left downwind, runway 10.
And then when we get to the point where the Allegheny and the Monongahela intersect, we want to make sure we're at 2,300 or thereabouts.
Follow at your 10 o'clock, 5 miles turning south, miles at 2,000, what's traffic inside?
Yes. Still see him there.
Tango Charlie, roger, follow the traffic, maintain visual separation.
Maintain visual separation, Charlie separation.
Pod 1, contact Pittsburgh departures, yeah.
For departure, pod 1, good luck.
Number 816, roger, extend your down and I'll call your base.
Tower Skyhawk 884, short runway 10, ready for departure.
Number 884, roger, traffic short final.
Roger, 884.
Okay,
Number
so
4 Mike Charlie, runway 10.
still got traffic up ahead there.
10 clear to land 4 Mike Charlie.
Allegheny Tower, November 6 Bar Whiskey is on the river, coming in full stop. Number 6 Bravo Whiskey, roger. November 6 Whiskey, Allegheny Tower, roger. The Allegheny altimeter 3016. And traffic to follow at your 12 o'clock, 3 miles, same direction, a caravan at 2,300. Got the caravan inside 6 Bravo Whiskey. Number 816, turn base.
Okay, so joining the river. Still see traffic up ahead, but he's a little ways up, so I think we're okay spacing.
Cessna 99040, Cessna 99040, this is Pittsburgh ground on guard. You can hear me, you have a hot mic.
That's okay, I'm calling, I was coming in pretty broken. Or 0 Tango Charlie, runway 10, clear touch and go.
Clear touch and go, runway 10, Tango Charlie.
Yeah, Allegheny 157 Charlie X-ray Bonanza here, approaching the city or the river, coming in for full stop for Allegheny.
Gonna bring the power down, but spin the props up a little bit.
Charlie X-ray Allegheny Tower, Roger. The Allegheny altimeter 3016.
That'll help us kind of.
Left downwind, runway 10.
Okay. Yep. Got the weather at 1 altimeter.
Help us kind of stay back behind our colleague up ahead. We're passing right over this Mickville airport, and I guess if I realized we were going to be this close to Mickville, the proper thing to do would have been to make a couple of CTAF calls on the Mickville frequency, just to alert anybody in the pattern there that we were right over top of them. Of course, on VATSIM, pretty much nobody's going to be there. In the real world, though, you pass right over an airport like that, you kind of want to let the traffic there know what you're doing.
Right in front of us. 4 Mike Charlie Roger, welcome, November 4 Mike Charlie Roger, taxi parking straight ahead, see ya.
Parking straight ahead, thanks for coming in today, appreciate you being here for us, thanks, good luck.
No problem, see ya.
You know what, we're getting tossed around pretty good.
Number 1 Bravo Zulu traffic.
Turbulence-wise.
At your 9 o'clock, 2 miles, opposite direction, a Cessna 2300, report the traffic inside.
Oh, we have the traffic inside, 1 Bravo Zulu.
Number 1 Bravo Zulu, Roger, follow the traffic.
Alright, follow the traffic, 1 Bravo Zulu.
It's going to be just a few minutes here, maybe, November 884.
Roger, 84.
November 125 Charlie, turning downwind 10.
Yeah. Spinning the props up just a little, backing the power off just a little.
November 53 Charlie Roger, traffic to follow at your...
Just to try to avoid
11 to 12 o'clock.
Running right up on our colleague ahead of us. I don't have him in sight at the moment. I know he was kind of right there.
It beats craft at 2,300.
Same question.
November 53 Charlie Roger, follow traffic, maintain visual separation.
And then let's make sure we're not... We don't need to be... we don't need to be down to 2,300 until we're just about on top of the river intersection.
November 58 Whiskey Mike, November 518 Whiskey Mike, Allegheny Tower, Allegheny altimeter 3016, enter a left downwind, runway 10.
Left downwind 10, Whiskey Mike.
Tower 6 Bravo Whiskey, we're behind our traffic, turn to the downwind as well. Tower 6 Bravo Whiskey, Roger.
I'm going to cut this corner just a little bit, just because I lost sight of the traffic ahead. I'm assuming that means he's far enough ahead that we can cut the corner and not run up on him.
November 816, runway 10, clear to land.
Keep our eyes up. Yeah, so we've got a 3,000-foot shelf right here before the intersection. It's if we clip just west of the intersection that we got to be at 23. So we'll keep that in mind. 25 is going to be fine for us, as long as we don't.
5242, identical X-ray.
Stray too far west of the river, of the intersection.
November 0 Tango Charlie, extend your downwind, I'll call your base.
Extending downwind, 390 Bravo Charlie.
November 1 Bravo Zulu, runway 10, clear to land.
10, clear to land, 1 Bravo Zulu.
November 816, taxi parking straight ahead, see ya.
And we'll make sure we get our fuel pump back on when we get our landing clearance.
Not a problem. November 7 Charlie, X-ray radar contact. Approximately 10 miles north of the Allegheny Airport, altitude indicates 2,000. Turn right heading 190, maintain 2,000. Maintain VFR at 2,000.
Okay, heading 190 for 7 Charlie X-ray, maintain 2,000 or 3,000 for 7 Charlie X-ray.
Number 7 Charlie X-ray, maintain VFR at 2,500. Maintain VFR at 2,000.
Okay, VFR 2,500 and we're at 150 for 7 Charlie X-ray.
going to put a little power back in. Back up to a normal cruise power, 22, 22, 14.
Pattern time for us. We're just going to depart north, southwest if we can. I want to get some compensate for us.
Number 884, roger.
The traffic that was ahead, I no longer see him. So I'm going to assume that he's now further up the river and I can go ahead
Zero Tango Charlie, traffic to follow at
resume my normal speed.
9 o'clock, 1 mile, opposite direction, Beechcraft 2300. Report the traffic inside.
Traffic inside, ground still so much Charlie.
Zero Tango Charlie, roger, follow traffic, maintain visual separation.
Follow the traffic, maintain visual separation, ground still so much
If we land runway 10 and
runway 10, clear to land.
it's going to be a
Roger.
Hey, Whiskey Mike's midfield down 10.
Over 8 Whiskey Mike, roger, extending down, I'll call your base.
Step down when you'll call it, Whiskey Mike.
Hey, do we have any place at the end here where we check in with our flight plan or anything? Or landing time?
Yes, the channel is the Flight of the Living Dead VA channel. I forgot to mark myself, but you mark yourself. You just mark your call sign and the time of arrival.
3 miles westbound. A single engine prop at 2,200. Report the traffic inside.
Go ahead and cut the turn a little bit here. This is a pretty steep turn. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it just a little bit short. Right over top of the stacks. That's probably not healthy for the airplane.
November 1 Bravo Zulu, taxi to parking straight ahead.
Depending on what's coming out of those stacks.
Over to parking straight ahead, 1 Bravo Zulu, thanks man. Yep.
Yeah, November 6 Bravo Zulu, runway 10, clear to land, 6 Bravo Key. 5 Charlie, taxi to parking via Alpha, yeah. Parking via Alpha, thanks for the fun tonight. November 8 Whiskey Mike, traffic to follow at your 10 o'clock, 2 miles, opposite direction, a Piper at 2,400.
Hey, Whiskey Mike has the traffic ahead to the left of the thing.
November 8 Whiskey Mike, roger, follow traffic, maintain visual separation.
Follow him on the visual, hey Whiskey Mike.
Okay, steering at 270. Mag says 270, so it looks like we're pretty well aligned. I don't see any traffic ahead, so we can just get back to normal speed, and then we will just need to kind of pump the brakes.
585 Romeo Papa, overflying downtown Pittsburgh with Charlie, inbound full stop. Over 5 Romeo Papa, Allegheny Tower, Allegheny altimeter 3016, enter left downwind runway 10.
Yeah, Cold Nebus is something like that was implicated in that 208 crash in Michigan. Yeah, I saw the YouTube documentary on that, the AOPA or whatever it was. Wasn't winter time, and it was an instrument approach right over those cooling stacks. Yeah, I know the exact one you're talking about. That's kind of what was on my mind. I said it, but yeah, we're in visual conditions, a little higher up.
November 0 Tango Charlie, runway 10, clear to land.
10, clear to land, Charlie.
Up on the rudder pedals here, we're going to need those in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and drop those extra couple hundred feet. Although if we're very careful about the river intersection, it won't matter.
Clear land, 10, number 2, this way.
Eisenberg says, I can help you forget about your Windows was just installed 2024. Is the performance that drastically different? So what we're seeing dead ahead is probably Pittsburgh International Airport.
Parking via Alpha Cross 13 on Alpha 6 Whiskey.
Alright, I'm going to start spinning the props up a little faster and start backing the power off. But here we are, right over top of Three Rivers, I think. Get an update on the ATIS. Still don't have a ground there. We just got the Allegheny Tower. Information Charlie there. 3016. Okay, we're 23, creeping back up on 24. Allegheny Tower, Comanche 514 Delta Victor. We're right over top of Three Rivers, 2,300. Information Charlie, full stop.
November 514 Delta Victor, Allegheny Tower, Allegheny altimeter 3016, entering left downwind, runway 10.
Left downwind for runway 10, 514 Delta Victor.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to say that in the briefing. Thank you, Brant. There is the, when you guys do land at Allegheny, make sure to put your call sign and the time of arrival in the Flight of the Living Dead PA channel. Thank you, Brant.
It's finger licking good.
Over right, Whiskey Mike, if I
Happy to make a positive contribution, man.
Yeah, we're clear to land, Whiskey Mike.
R7 Charlie X-ray, runway 10, clear to land, traffic departs prior to arrival.
Now, you being here and participating is always a positive contribution, sir.
10, clear to land for 7 Charlie X-ray, traffic at minutes.
Over 884, runway 10, line up and wait.
884, line up and wait, 10.
That cancel that, November 884, hold short.
Hold short.
He wants us on a left downwind. So I'm going to proceed east and then kind of 180 to the right and then join that left downwind.
November 8, Whiskey Mike, taxi to parking via Alpha.
Parking via Alpha, Whiskey Mike, thanks. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Tower, Skyhawk 900, Foxtrot Tango with VFR request. That's
JetPilotCinnamon is here.
November 900,
What day is it, Mike?
Altitude drifted up, but we're east of the intersection of the river, so we're not anywhere near that 2,500 foot shelf. So we're okay. Just altitude management's just a little questionable at the moment. So there's the airport. So I'm gonna just proceed east, kind of a sweeping right, and then we'll join that left downwind as instructed. Got Airbrad with the resub. Airbrad, thank you kindly.
Maintain VFR 3000, squawk 4553 for Skyhawk 900, Foxtrot Tango.
November 0 Foxtrot Tango, read back correct. November 884, runway 10, line up and wait.
10, line up and wait, 884.
Field elevation there's what?
November 7 Charlie X-ray, taxi to parking via Alpha, yeah.
1252.
Charlie X-ray, that's for now.
So another reason to be down at 2,300 is it's more or less pattern altitude.
November 884, runway 10, clear for takeoff, make right, downwind departure.
10, cleared for takeoff.
So when the river bends around, we'll just follow it down into a left downwind.
Allegheny Tower, good day, November 239, Bravo Lima, we're north of the field, 2,100 over the river, full stop, Charlie.
Over 239, Bravo Lima, Allegheny Tower, thanks for Charlie, enter left downwind, runway 10.
Enter left downwind, runway 10, now Bravo Lima.
Tower, Skyhawk 900, Foxtrot Tango, we have Charlie, ready taxi.
November 5, Romeo Papa, runway 10, clear to land.
As soon as I turn in toward the field guide, actually, if you want to start putting it in now, guys can start putting in some predictions as far as the vertical descent rate at the moment the wheels touch runway surface. There's no bot command necessary for that, just a number into the chat, positive or negative. We'll know the immediate descent rate either way. And the closest predictor to our actual descent rate in terms of feet per minute at the moment the wheels touch runway surface will get an automatic entry into our bi-monthly landing rate raffle. Alright, let's get established on that left downwind. We'll go ahead and get the gear out. That'll help us get the speed down. We can get the gear out below 150, and then as soon as we get into that white arc, we can put the first notch of flaps in also. Alright, we're kind of on a 45 here to the left downwind.
Mike, I was busy when you were explaining it. What do we do with our to get credit for the flight?
And the Flighting the Living Dead GA channel, just your call sign and the time of arrival.
Flight following?
Yeah, with everybody around, sounds like a good idea.
You'll see some of the others I posted in there already.
Sounds good, thanks.
Number 884, roger. November 884, contact Pittsburgh departure 119.35. See you, thank you for the patience.
Wonderful time, thanks so much. Contact departure, 884.
Alright, gears out, 2 notches of flaps in. Go ahead and get the fuel pump on now, because I will be bound to forget it later. And then we'll check in on that left downwind midfield here.
Alright, step on someone, go ahead.
Skyhawk Commander 00 Foxtrot Tango holding short, runway 10 at Alpha.
November 0 Foxtrot Tango, runway 10, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, 10, Commander 00 Foxtrot Tango.
November 5 Romeo Papa, taxi to parking by Alpha, see ya. Over to parking by Alpha for Bonanza 5 Romeo Papa.
Brains. Alright, how far out am I going to run the downwind? Probably to whatever that little building is.
0 Foxtrot Tango, make left crosswind departure, runway 10, clear for takeoff.
Left crosswind departure, clear for takeoff, runway 10, Commander 00 Foxtrot Tango.
November 4 Delta Victor, runway 10, clear to land.
Little land 10, 514 Delta Victor.
GA Tower, Charlie, Charlie.
November 3 90 Tango Charlie, Allegheny Tower guide.
Charlie, Charlie, requesting clearance to Pittsburgh International with Charlie on board.
Final notch of flaps in.
Can you repeat that?
Fuel pump is on.
Travis Tango Charlie requesting BFR clearance to Pittsburgh International with information Charlie.
Reserve Tango Charlie, roger, stand by.
Stand by.
Alright, flaps are full. Gears down in green. We have our landing clearance, right hand turn off if we make it down.
Number 0 Foxtrot Tango, traffic at your 11 o'clock. 1 mile, turning westbound to Skyhawk at 2000. Report the traffic in sight.
We got traffic in sight for 90 Foxtrot Tango.
Showing high.
0 Foxtrot Tango, roger, maintain visual separation.
Maintain visual separation for 90.
Let some altitude come off. Got some excess speed as well.
November 9 Bravo Lima, traffic to follow at your 10 o'clock, 1 mile, base to final, Piper at 2000. Inside 9 Bravo Lima. November 9 Bravo Lima, roger, follow the traffic, maintain visual separation. Follow the traffic, maintain visual sep, 9 Bravo Lima.
Allegheny Tower, Parker 2324 kilos, 10 miles north over the Allegheny River for landing.
November 2324 kilo, Allegheny Tower, roger, the Allegheny altimeter 3016.
Little high.
Runway 10.
Speed's coming down nicely now.
Left downwind, runway 10, 2324.
Do have some tall trees to stay over, so I'm okay with the extra height actually.
November 9 Bravo Lima, runway 10, clear to land. 10, clear to land, 9 Bravo Lima. November 0 Foxtrot Tango, contact Pittsburgh departure 119.35.
For departure 119.35 for 90 Foxtrot Tango, soup.
Hey, Denver, Cessna 95 Tango over the river southwest down 2100 with Charlie.
Try to over finesse it as I always do in this aircraft. That didn't register a bounce, but the nose definitely came up after I touched down, so that's not ideal. But
10, we got all the traffic to follow inside 95 Tango.
And November 24 Kilo, traffic at your 9 o'clock, 2 miles northbound to Skyhawk at...
Overall, happy.
Traffic inside.
Stuttering seems to have subsided somewhat, but we'll restart the sim and see if those lower settings help even more.
Maintain visual separation, 224 Kilo.
Flaps, strobes, landing lights.
Traffic at your 9 to 10 o'clock, 3 miles northbound to Skyhawk at 3000, report the traffic inside.
Inside 95 Tango.
Or 95 Tango, roger, maintain visual separation.
Visual separation, 95 Tango.
Over 4 Delta Victor, taxi to parking via Alpha.
Alright, yep, straight in from here, okay? 514 Delta Victor.
Absolutely.
Alright, thank you. Alright, so we made it.
And 9 Bravo Lima, we're clear. Just go straight in.
Over 9 Bravo Lima, firm taxi to parking straight ahead, see ya.
Parking straight ahead, 9 Bravo Lima, see ya.
Looks like we got a friend over here. We'll go park next to them. And then finally, let's lean the mix out until it... lean the mix out until it starts to drop. We still got good amount of fuel in the tip tanks.
We're on top of 3 rivers, about 8 miles north of the field. We have information Charlie inbound, full stop.
We're 3904 Alpha Mike, Allegheny Tower, information Charlie's current runway, enter left downwind, runway 10.
Enter downwind for runway 10, 3904 Alpha Mike.
Alright, parking brake is on. RPMs to 1000.
Number 0 Tango Charlie, I have your clearance advised, ready to copy.
Ready to copy, 390 Charlie.
Number 0 Tango Charlie, maintain VFR at 3000, squawk 0744.
Mix right to the point where it drops. Okay.
Below 3000, squawking 0744.
And we did get the
Number 0 Tango Charlie,
all the cleanup items done. Fuel pump, pitot. Strobe, landing lights, and did we get the flap stowed? Yeah, we did. Okay, so we got all that taken care of. Let's do a quick check of the... Well, let's see, real quick on the arrival time. Not sure. We probably got off a little earlier than what it says on here. I said we were going to be down here at 8:46. We're down here at 8:26 U.S. Eastern Time, and we should have
November 0 Tango
326 pounds of fuel left. What is that in gallons? 54 gallons. So that's going to be 27 per side.
November 24 Kilo, wind 100 at 6, runway 10, clear to land.
Quarter here is about 4 gallons. Maybe about 3 gallons per side there. And then what do the mains have? 27, 30. Yeah, we're probably got more fuel than we need. Let's go ahead and just look at your predictions. The, where's the... So the descent rate upon touchdown, 102 is what registered, 102. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Again, as I touched down, I was still pulling the nose up. It looked inelegant that way, and I'm just trying to over-finesse it, and so that's why that happened, but it didn't register as a bounce. The mains remained planted on the pavement, which is good. So 102 is what registered. Who had the closest? Looks like maybe Aerobrad. Let me skim through them here and see where you guys were. Kenny came in with the 173. We had 75, 43, 54, 99 from Aerobrads, looking pretty good. 124, 62, 120. 99 also from Good Fixins, so we might have a tie here. So 99 to 102, that's 3 away, and I don't think anybody came in with a 105 or lower. So let me
95 Tango traffic to follow at your
skim through again.
10 to 11 o'clock, 2 miles.
105 or lower, no. Okay, well there you go. It's a joint win there from Good Fixins and Aerobrad.
Maintain visual separation.
Maintain visual,
November 4 Alpha Mike, traffic to follow at your 2 to 3 o'clock.
KAGC, Allegheny County.
Westbound,
And what's the date? 28th.
Traffic in sight, 4 Alpha Mike.
November 4 Alpha Mike, follow the traffic, maintain visual separation.
Follow traffic, maintain visual separation.
Okay, well we've got those, no, I didn't beat the 63, Kenny. I did not today. I got a perfect 100 plus 2 bonus extra credit points. That's what I got. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a quick intermission for a little liquid recycling break. But I'm also going to I'm going to go back to the title screen for this intermission because I'm going to restart the sim, reconnect here at Allegheny County, and then we're going to head up to Burke Lakefront. But I'm hoping in restarting the sim, we will get those other settings, those other visual settings that I lowered. Hopefully, it won't look like crap with the lowered settings, but hopefully it'll smooth out the performance a little bit, and we'll be able to make it up to Burke Lakefront without those additional stutters. The stutters were so bad at first, I thought they were going to kick us off the stream. Fortunately, the stream stayed up and running. So I know that it didn't look and sound great, but it did stay on. So anyway, it got better after we made those adjustments. And so let's keep our fingers crossed that the second leg goes even better in terms of that. And Heisenberg says, just upgrade to 2024, you'll have all your problems will be solved. So yeah, maybe I take him up on that. There's a couple of events coming up that I want to get through before we do that. But I also want to get through those events and in a happy manner rather than a frustrated manner. So we'll see. Anyway, I will talk more about that in just a few. We're going to take a quick intermission for the time being. I do have to also register my arrival time, 8:24, which is 0024. We'll also register my arrival time in the Virtual USA Flying Club Discord just to count our participation. So I'll do that while we're off screen, but we'll be back with you in just a few. And again, we will go back to the title screen this time for this intermission, but we will be back to you. Oh, said you would have a new set of issues, says Heisenberg. Okay. I see. I missed that second message. Did you see it now? Now that I scroll back and see it. Well, thank you for clarifying. Alright, anyway, we'll be back on the title screen for the intermission, but we'll be loading back into the sim here in just a few. And on to Burke Lakefront. So sit tight, friends. Appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll be back in just a few for some more flying. Sit tight.
November 4 Alpha Mike, runway 10, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 10, clear to 4 Alpha Mike.
November 24 Kilo, taxi to parking via Alpha.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We'll leave it here in the sim for now. We'll reboot the sim when I get back. We'll leave the action happening on the screen for you. So we'll be back in just a few.
November 0 Tango Charlie, traffic at your 11 o'clock, 1 mile westbound, Skyhawk 2200. Report the traffic inside.
Traffic inside, 0 Tango Charlie.
November 0 Tango Charlie, maintain visual separation.
Maintain visual separation, 0 Tango Charlie.
Number 95 Tango, runway 10, clear to land.
10, clear to land, not out there.
November 247 Foxtrot Papa, 10 nautical miles northeast, Colfax landing. That's it.
November 247 Foxtrot Papa, Allegheny Tower, roger. And Allegheny altimeter 3016, enter a left downwind, runway 10.
Altimeter 3016, left, runway 10. First and Foxtrot Papa.
November 0 Tango Charlie, contact Pittsburgh, departure 119.35.
19.35, 300 Charlie. See ya.
Allegheny Tower, Piper 3324 Kilo is at Alpha Charlie, directions to the ramp.
Number 24 Kilo, taxi to parking, next left.
Next left, 2324 Kilo.
Number 7 Foxtrot Papa, traffic at shore, 10 o'clock, 4 miles, northwestbound, a Piper at 2,700, report the traffic in sight.
Traffic is in sight. November 247 Foxtrot Papa.
November 7 Foxtrot Papa, roger, maintain visual separation.
Loco, 247 Foxtrot Papa.
November 4 Alpha Mike, taxi to parking straight ahead, see ya.
Taxi to parking straight ahead, 4 Mike. Thank you for your help.
November 95 Tango, taxi to parking straight ahead, see ya.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope everyone had a good time getting into Allegheny this evening. Like I said, just make sure you mark yourself for attendance. Just need your call sign and time of arrival in the Flight of the Living Dead channel once you get landed up, for those that are still in the air. And hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I'll see most of you guys for the next event. Our next one is, was it November 5th? So Wednesday evening, November 5th for Sholo, where I'll be doing a gift card giveaway for that one. So be there. You won't want to miss it. Hope to see you guys there.
Great event, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks, guys.
I'll be working for the next one, but that was fun. Thanks.
November 7 Foxtrot Papa, runway 10, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 10, 247 Foxtrot Papa.
Alright, friends, back with you. Thanks for your patience. A little bit of an intermission there. Now, I had said I was going to restart the sim before leg number 2. And for those of you who might just be joining, we joined the Virtual USA Flying Club for an invasion of Flight of the Living Dead. The Cleveland ARTCC is hosting a zombie-themed Tuesday event at Pittsburgh International Airport. We did a GA invasion that came into Allegheny County Airport here just south and east of Pittsburgh International Airport. Nice little VFR flight down the river and from Three Rivers up to the pattern entry. So worked out really nicely. I was experiencing, so many of you know if you've been following that we've had pretty good stability in the sim, pretty good performance in the sim, not too many problems with the sim. But I did just last weekend upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11. I had been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because my philosophy is the less you change, if everything is working great, the less you change, the better off you are. Well, finally the OS, of course, Windows 10 stopped receiving security updates, and they, the system was sending me more and more pestering messages to upgrade, and I was like, okay, well, I haven't heard people complain about Windows 11 having major issues with the sim for a long time, so, I guess I'll go ahead and take the plunge, upgraded, and we've been having some pretty severe sim stutters ever since. Now, I did go back through graphic settings and take off all the stupid animations and put everything back on high performance and all the little system tweaks that we can try in order to get some performance back and get the sims operating smoothly again. So far, we still had some pretty severe stutters with this A2A Simulations Comanche earlier tonight. I lowered some of the graphic settings in the sim. Some of those settings took effect right away and made it a little better, and some said we needed to restart the sim for those to take effect. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and restart the sim now. I hope we don't lose too much of the visual appeal of the sim for this second leg. I'd hate to think that I have to, make the sim look like crap in order to make it run, just because the operating system all of a sudden needs more resources, but for tonight, we'll do that and get through it the best as we can. Now, I didn't want to just shut the sim off without shutting the airplane off, because this is one of those, this is a very highly detailed model of the Piper Comanche, and it's got, sim state persistence, and I didn't want to have all kinds of stuff left on and just shut off mid-stroke, and then, not know what kind of damage that was going to do to the aircraft. So we'll go through the shutdown procedure real quick. We'll reboot the sim, and then we'll head up to Burke Lakefront for leg number 2. Let's just take a quick note of what I've got. Well, actually, the fuel should be persistent. I mean, let's just take a peek and see what we've got fuel-wise. 26 and 2. So that should come back just like that. All right, let's go ahead and do the shutdown. I flow this back in front of me. And
November 7 Foxtrot Papa, runway 10, clear to land.
Clear to land 10.
Yeah, we'll start by turning off all the radios and the transponder and the avionics, and then we'll go ahead and ease the throttle and mix down. Magnetos and fuel pumps, control lock, nav and beacon light can come off, battery can come off. I don't need to open the window just yet. Probably will unlatch and open the door, and I'll run around and reset all the static elements. And then we'll do a full pre-flight walk around for the second leg here. But let's just tie the plane down. Wheel chocks, heat tow cover, a whole works there. Plane Talking is with us. Plane Talking says, the guy flying 518 Whiskey Mike is a real-life friend of mine. Told me about this 15 minutes before you guys took off. Well, if you want to see Plane Talking, if you're on Discord, go to virtualusaflyingclub.org. It's basically an alias to the Discord link for the club. I'm going to leave all the luggage in there, by the way, because we're just going to put it all back in for leg number 2. And then you guys, and then if you Plane Talking, if you're on the VATSIM network, you certainly can join us. They plan about one event a week on average. So all kinds of fun stuff to do with the club in terms of general aviation flying on VATSIM. All right, so I guess then the last thing to do would be to close and latch the door. Obviously, we'd do that from outside the plane, and there we are. Okay, so now that we got the plane shut down, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect VATSIM. We're going to close up the sim, and then we're going to start it back up. And hopefully those graphic settings are 2 things that I hope with the graphic settings. Number 1, I hope that the graphic settings help with the stutters. Number 2, I hope that the graphic settings don't make the sim... I hope I didn't set them so low that the sim now looks like garbage. We'll see what happens. Guess while we're waiting, I can get my flight plan filed for leg number 2. Now, if you're VFR, I know we won't bother with that. We're done with the club event officially. So, VFR in the U.S., you don't need to file a flight plan. Just advise your intentions to the controller, so we'll do it that way. I love how I have it selected in the menu that I don't want the music, but it always plays like a note, and then it's like, oh, shoot, sorry, he said he didn't want the music. Cut the music, cut the music. Always makes me laugh. Alright, so we'll load back in Allegheny County, and while we're waiting for the sim to boot, and blank this out, we're going to go KUNV-KAGC, and we're going to go off to Burke Lakefront. But let's see if we can, oops, KAGC, Allegheny County, right? Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going north and west. We want to not encroach on the Pittsburgh Bravo. So how are we going to do that? Let's take off. Let's go due north. Let's join this river outbound. At what point would we be able to turn north? So really, once we get to this, is this DME marked? Yeah, it's a 20-mile arc. 20-mile arc from Montour, MMJ. And it's I guess it's just a DME at this point. It's not even a VOR anymore. It's in parentheses. It's just literally just a DME station. But once we're outside of 20 miles DME, then that will tell us that we could turn north and not be in this shelf here. At that point, we can go to whatever altitude we want. At that point, I'll turn north. We'll pass right over Butler. We had a high-profile political thing happen there some time ago. I really don't like to talk politics on this channel, but just notable that that's where that happened. Let's see. We get over Lake Arthur. What are we going to do? Let's turn west here. Let's see if we can find the spot where this highway comes through and splits the difference between these two damned lakes. Damned lakes. All these damned lakes everywhere we go. Split the difference between these two damned lakes. And then let's see if we can find that one. And then that one. then that one. And then at that point, so we want to head straight to, yeah, we don't want to encroach on the Cleveland class Bravo, and we don't want to run them through these deltas unless we get permission to. It's almost like we want to run out here, turn in outside of Lake County. Now, do I need to avoid this airspace because I'm not allowed to be in it? No. But does it make sense to avoid running right through this airspace because, hey, there'd be a lot of traffic there, and we wouldn't want to just run right through their traffic pattern without talking to them? Then that's definitely a thing. So what we may do is just keep plenty of altitude, maybe 3,500, well, it'll be 4,500 if we're westbound. So let's maybe plan on doing most of this at 4,500. That'll keep us above these deltas. And if we're going to be at 4,500, okay, then I don't need to avoid the Cuyahoga County Delta. I can come straight over top of Cuyahoga County at 4,500. And then we can turn out here. Okay, and then if I'm going to be at 4,500, I got to be careful not to pass west of Cuyahoga County, because then we will be encroaching on the Cleveland class Bravo. So I think we'll stay east of Cuyahoga County, over the lake, 4,500, and then we can kind of circle down, lose some altitude, and then we can worry about what we're going to do for our pattern entry at Lipper Lakefront. So that'll be our plan, I think. 4,500. We'll kind of navigate north, join the river north and east. We'll make sure we're outside of 20 miles. Then we'll find Lake Arthur. We'll hop lake to lake. We'll do some lake hopping here. We'll split the difference between these two lakes. We'll find this one here. Is it marked as far as its name? No, it doesn't seem to be. Nice big lake there near Miller Air Park, south of Dunn Field. We got another lake to the north and west of that, just east of the town of Ravenna. Okay, we'll continue north. This reservoir just south of, or just, what are we calling this? No real place names marked around here. Chagrin Falls, to the east of Chagrin Falls will be this next lake. And then at that point, we'll just go right over top of Cuyahoga County, east of the airport, make sure we're out in this 5,000 foot Bravo shelf. And then we'll circle down, and then we'll make sure we're underneath the 3,000 foot shelf as we make our approach to Burke Lakefront. Okay, I'm happy with that plan. That does mean that we're going to need to tune this 112.0, make sure that we're outside of the 20-mile arc before we turn off of the river here. Okay, let's jump back in. We're in the Comanche, we're in the livery, we made our settings changes already. Let's KAGC, Allegheny County. Let's go back to about where we were, which was somewhere right in there. And see, I think I set it to be 1 o'clock when we started the stream, an hour and 51 minutes ago, so that'll be 2:51. And again, I always like doing my flying in daytime. Night flying I just find boring. All right, 47, that's close enough. Okay, so we're selected at the parking location. All right, and hopefully the changes that we made does, so I don't see too many severe visual changes to the sim. But hopefully whatever changes we did make will help us with that stuttering issue. All right, let's make sure I didn't connect on top of somebody here. Roughly in the same spot we were. JG says I walked over to your Comanche on the Allegheny County ramp and then watched it disappear when you shut down. Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see if rebooting with the settings changes that we made makes a difference. Oh, we got traffic here, we got traffic here. Go ahead and get back in. And windows and door. And let's take it from the top and see how we do. Right. Our very high-tech control lock can come off. The fuel valves. We'll start with the mains. I'll burn the remaining 2 gallons out of the tip tanks here when we get underway. But for right now, we'll just start with the mains. Let's go ahead and... whoops, didn't mean to get rid of that. I want to do the walk around. Let's go out here. So let's start with our flap inspection. I didn't get to talk through the walk around the first time because we were listening to the briefing, but we'll check the flap in each of the 3 positions, make sure there's not too much play, and that it doesn't rubber catch in between positions. The aileron should move freely, shouldn't rubber catch or squeak in through its range. We do want to check. We do have about 2 gallons left in there, so we'll poke our head in and make sure we do see that the thing is got a couple gallons out of the 15 that it holds. Everything appears fine, and we'll take a minor little sampling of that to make sure that it's not water that has collected into the bottom of it. It's the correct color for the type of fuel that we've ordered it to be, and there's no contaminants in it, so we're looking good there. We'll check the light on the second pass. We'll take the tie down. Same thing on the right main fuel tank. We should see that this is mostly full. This is probably going to be about 80% full. Yep, it looks to be, and it's the correct color for the type of fuel that the plane takes, so that's all good. Reason we open the fuel valve... Oh, I'm sorry, take the wheel chock away. Reason we open the fuel valve is because we're going to take a little sampling of that main tank, and again, make sure that it's the correct... Make sure that it's not water that's collected in the bottom. If it was, we would keep pulling water out until we hit fuel. Looks like we hit fuel right away, so we're good there. And it's the correct color for the type of fuel that we've ordered, and it doesn't appear to be contaminated in any way, so we're good there. No objects left in the air intake, and the propeller appears undamaged. We did add a quart, getting to the point that was getting a little bit dark. We want it to be just above the 9 mark and still be a light tan color. It's a medium tan color, but it's not so dark that we need to change it just yet. We're still good there. Right-hand main tank, again, should be mostly full, about 26 or so gallons, so it should be about 5/6 full, and yeah, we can see it's the correct color for the type of fuel that we ordered, so that's all good. Wheel chock, pitot cover, and tie down. Light we'll check on the second pass. Left-hand tip tank, we should have 2 gallons in. You can't really see it from this vantage point, but if we poked our head in, maybe give it a smell, you can definitely tell that it does have a couple gallons in it. And again, we'll take a little sampling out of the bottom of that. And we hit fuel right away, no water, that's good, and it's not correct color, and it's not contaminated in any way, so we're okay there. This is aileron should move freely, not catch or rub or squeak. And then flap should not move freely. That left linkage guy has a little more play in it than it ought to. Maybe when we get to Burke Lakefront, we'll do a maintenance inspection. We haven't done a maintenance inspection in quite some time in this aircraft, so we'll be due for one. When we get up to Burke Lakefront, we'll do that. Static port is unblocked, so this horizontal surface should move freely. Vertical surface should move, but not as freely. We'll take down the final tie down. Static port's unblocked, and of course we know we've got our luggage already in there, so we are good. Let's go ahead and get the battery on and all the lights on. Take a quick second pass and check all the lights. We got the green nav light good. Right-hand landing light's good. Strobe light you can see from pretty much everywhere. The left landing light is going to hit us in the face here in just a second. There we go. And then that's a little hard to see, but I guess if I turn it off and on and back on, you can see that it is indeed lit. And then rotating beacon we can see from the back view there, looking on top of the aircraft. And there it is. Okay, so there we are, good. And Rob saw that it was good and said that it was good, and it was good. Good. All right, strobe off, landing lights off. We'll go ahead and shut that off. Windows are indeed open. Get rid of the yoke so we can see. What did I just accidentally turn off there? Anyway, none of the circuit breakers are popped. We'll go ahead and close and latch the door. Throttle and mix can go forward. Fuel pump will come on. We'll watch the fuel pressure come up to about 5. Once it does, we'll pull the primer about 4 times or so. One, 2, 3, and 4. Close and lock the primer. Throttle comes back out, comes up to about maybe 10%. And we will go ahead and get the right, left, both mags. We'll call clear, 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 clear. We'll engage the starter while we slowly bump the throttle forward until it catches. Yep, okay, disengage starter. Throttle comes down. We note that the oil pressure did indeed come up right away. Fuel pressure remains. We turn the fuel pump off. Fuel pressure still remains, and that means our engine fuel pump is now supplying its own, so we don't need the backup electric pump. We can go ahead and close those, and let's go ahead and lean the mix out until just the part where it starts to drop RPMs. Okay, avionics, and then we'll get our radios all on. We should start to hear some chatter on that tower frequency, I imagine, more or less right away. So we got the comm, oh, and then the transponder can come back on as well, and we're still squawking 1200, which is the VFR code. Alright, what else? We want to check the ATIS information. Last we heard it was Charlie. It's still Charlie, so it's still 3016. When we tune in 3016, our altimeter should read approximately 1252. So 3016.
November 8 Whiskey Mike, extend your down.
1250, yeah, pretty close. Let's now see, we're parked facing 276 or 7. So pump that in, spin it till we are there's a 28. 1, 2, 3, so there's about a 277, and the arrows are facing runway 10. So directional driver is good, and then we had said for planning purposes we're going to take off to the east and then we're going to turn north. Our on course is going to be basically 010 more or less to join the river. We can actually plan to join the river on more of an oblique, say about a 037, and then we need to tune in this 112.0 because we want to join the river at the point where it just comes just beyond 20 miles. Once we're beyond 20 miles, we can then turn north and west. So anyway, yeah, 037 and then 112.0, and that'll get us set up for our navigation plan. And we can say 040 just for round figures. Not that big a deal. Yeah, fine. And 112.0. We may not be receiving anything on that, but we can certainly check. Yeah, nothing yet, but we'll probably pick that up once we get airborne.
Tower Southbound 00 Foxtrot Tango. Who do that? Or 0 Foxtrot Tango, runway 10, cleared touch and go.
1935 is the departure frequency. I'm going to plan to monitor that.
Whiskey Mike, base approved. Turning base, Whiskey Mike.
But we're not going to need to talk to them. We're going to be VFR. We're going to be underneath the Bravo. So we won't be required to talk to a departure controller. Again, once we leave this dotted blue circle here, we're going to be underneath. If the Bravo doesn't start until 4,000. If we're below 4,000, we're not talking to them. Once we get up here, once we get beyond 20 miles, we're going to be outside of the Bravo. We're going to be headed to this Lake Arthur outside of the Bravo airspace, so we won't need to talk to them.
Number 489 Echo Foxtrot, Allegheny Tower, information Delta is now current. Enter a right downwind, runway 10.
Okay.
Right downwind, runway 10.
ATIS, we got Charlie. Don't need a clearance. Comm radios are set. Altimeter and field elevation set. Directional gyro, heading, nav, and nav course is set. Transponder code and mode not applicable as we are VFR. Alright, we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and check our control surfaces. We've checked them from the outside, but now let's make sure they move as commanded. We'll set flaps for departure. Check the elevators. Can't really check the rudder, but
November 8 Whiskey Mike, runway 10,
somebody outside will give us a thumbs up.
Touch go 108 Whiskey Mike.
Tell us that's good to go. We'll be ready to taxi out here.
Allegheny Tower, Comanche 7832 Papa, midfield left downwind, runway 10.
November 32 Papa, extend your down, I'll call your base.
And we're at
downwind, 7832 Papa.
We're at the upper west ramp, so we'll expect runway 10 via Alpha. So it's kind of straight out here, Charlie, and then Alpha to the end of runway 10.
November 32 Papa, traffic to follow at your 11 o'clock, 1 mile opposite direction, say 200 Papa, 1,800 for the traffic in sight.
Traffic in sight, 7832 Papa.
November 32 Papa, follow the traffic, maintain visual separation.
Follow the traffic, 7832 Papa.
November 0 Foxtrot Tango, traffic to follow at your 12 o'clock, 1 mile, same direction, a Piper at 2,000.
Might take a minute for us to get a word in. Any airborne traffic takes precedence, so we'll have to just kind of be patient here.
Okay, Tower, Twin Diamond 62 Delta Mike, and following traffic on a 1 mile final for the visual runway 10.
Tower, hello, November 521 Lima. We are 10 miles to the northwest of your airport information. Charlie would like to come in for one full touch and go, and then with a full stop after that. 16 Lima.
November 32 Papa, make it right 360. November 62 Delta Mike, I'm not sure what's going on above me right now. Go around, climb and maintain 3,000, turn right heading 100.
3,000 climbing, heading 100, 2 Delta Mike. We're just instructed to follow traffic up our right side on final for the official switch runway 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure what, there's a bunch of guys in the pattern right now. You know, November 2 Delta Mike traffic.
That guy, that guy, that guy.
9 o'clock now,
and
less
that
than
guy.
a mile, Piper 1,700.
So we're going to give him a minute to get that sorted out. We're going to understand if he's not able to give us a taxi instruction right away. So he's got that guy making a right 360 and the other guy go around. That should sort him out for now.
32 Papa, runway 10, clear touch and go.
Clear touch and go, runway 10, 7832 Papa.
Tower Comanche 5 and 4 Delta Victor, upper west ramp, taxi for VFR northeastbound departure.
Number 514 Delta Victor, runway 10, taxi via Alpha, information Delta's current.
Alright, 10 via Alpha, we'll fetch Delta 5 and 4 Delta Victor. That was Charlie when we
2 Delta
looked.
Mike, turn right heading 180.
Turn right heading 180, November 2 Delta Mike.
November 2 Delta Mike, traffic at your 9 o'clock, less than a mile. A 200 prop turning north 2000.
Looking 2 Delta Mike.
Okay.
Tower, that was 2 at 1.
Okay. Delta now. Okay, still 3016.
Skyhawk 900 Foxtrot Tango, this will be a full stop.
Number 0 Foxtrot Tango, roger, runway 10, clear to land.
10, clear to land.
I'm not noticing significant differences with the visuals. I mean, I think we had some of these melted buildings on our way in, so I don't know if that's any different or not. I'm not.
Number 49 Echo Foxtrot, runway 10, clear.
Not noticing any significant differences with the scenery so far. Maybe we'll see a difference when we get going.
Contact, Pittsburgh departure 109.
And we weren't experiencing stutters until we were airborne the first time either, so I don't feel like this is a good indicator of whether the stutter thing is solved yet. We'll see what happens when we get airborne.
Tower 521 Lima with you 553 northwest coming in for one touch and go following by a full stop after that.
November 16 Lima, Allegheny Tower, Rogers, enter, make straight in runway 10. Sheridan 10, and we have Delta, thank you, 16 Lima.
And I am going to do a quick run up down here.
Tower Skyhawk 900 Fox San Jose, runway 10 at
2000.
Alpha 2. Alright, 0 Foxtrot Tango, taxi to parking bay Alpha.
Flex a couple times.
Allegheny Tower, Comanche 782 Papa, midfield left down in front of runway 10.
Number 32 Papa, extended down on clear base.
Mixed full rich.
Extend the downwind, 782 Papa.
Okay, 1 mag.
Alright, Whiskey Mike, runway 10 cleared to
2 mags.
touch and go.
Little 120 drop on that one. That's not what you want, but
Alright, Whiskey Mike, roger, runway 10 clear
good enough.
Clear line 10, right, Whiskey Mike. Number 32 Papa, traffic to follow off your 1 o'clock, less than a mile, turning base, a prop at 2000.
No, not in sight. 32 Papa.
Delta Victor, make left crosswind departure, runway 10, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 10 on the left crosswind, 514 Delta Victor. Okay, strobe, landing lights, pitot heat and fuel pump.
Turning base, 782 Papa.
Number 16 Lima, traffic to follow off your 11 o'clock, 3 miles, turning downwind to base, a Piper at 2,600.
Alright, takeoff power's coming at you.
November 8 Whiskey Mike, traffic departs prior to arrival.
Whoa, forgot to forgot to adjust the trim. Plane wanted to jump right up off the runway, but I'm holding it down and keeping it pitched.
Papa has traffic in sight.
Keeping it pitched for a safe airspeed. Sure, we don't need to return to the pavement, so then we'll return we'll retract the gear.
Number 32 Papa, runway 10, clear touch and go.
Clear touch and go, runway 10, 782 Papa.
Okay, gear, flaps. Let's get the fuel pump off. RPM's down to 24, manifold to 24. And then we'll start that left crosswind turn.
November 16 Lima, runway 10, clear touch and go.
10 clear, touch and go, 16 Lima.
And we're going to keep it to 25 until we're joining the river outbound.
Allegheny Tower, Skyhawk November 965 Papa Tango is about 6 miles to the north. Over the river, 2,400 with Delta to land. November 965 Papa Tango, Allegheny Tower, thanks for Delta, enter left downwind, runway 10. I'll enter left downwind for 10, 5 Papa Tango. Hey, Whiskey Mike, okay to go straight ahead. Alright, Whiskey Mike, roger, taxi to parking, straight to the parking, good night.
Oh my gosh, we got the raid from Eric Flight. Eric Flight, thank you very kindly. Alright, we want to keep 2,500.
November 4 Delta Victor, did you want flight follow?
Negative, we'll stay out of here.
November 4 Delta Victor, roger, frequency change approved, yeah.
Frequency change approved, 514 Delta Victor, we'll see you. Eric Flight says, glad to see your sim is working. Mine's still frozen on final. Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah, we were having some real bad stutters earlier. I upgraded from Windows 10 to Windows 11 over the weekend, and ever since we've been having some real bad stuttering issues. I've lowered some of the graphic settings. It doesn't look too bad. Like, I don't notice that big of a difference. And so far, knock on wood, we haven't had any of those massive stutters. So if that solves it, just lowering a few graphic settings that aren't having that big of an impact, then I'm happy to happy to report that for now. Eric's is going back to the Sim Update 4 beta. Yeah, I'm still on 2020, which has been perfectly stable and wonderful up until I upgraded from Win 10 to Win 11. That seems to have been its undoing.
Allegheny Tower, Comanche 782, pop up midfield, left downwind for 10, this will be full stop. Number 32 Papa, runway 10, clear to land. Runway 10, clear to land.
Alright, so we're following the river out to the north and east. And I'm just going to get on this intercept path. Yeah, it's still not the smoothest performance. Still feeling like I'm not getting quite the frame rates that I'm used to getting.
Pan Tower 16 Lima airborne. Would you like us to make left close or right close traffic? November 16 Lima on the go. Make left close traffic.
Get the 22, 22. And then once we're out to 20 miles distance, we can kind of cut to the north and west. And then we can pick up whatever altitude we want. Right now, we're under a Bravo shelf that starts at 4,000, right? Yeah, 4,000 feet. So we're at 25, we're okay. Yeah, Eric says, I've had issues with 2020 as well. I only keep it installed for the PMDG 737. Yeah, that's the thing, Eric, because I'm now barely getting to the point where I'm going to be able to upgrade and not lose too much out of my hangar. This aircraft, I think, is supported. The DC-6, I don't think is supported, but I've heard a lot of simmers are able to run it. So we might have some, little workarounds and stuff to do with that, but we should be able to do it.
Number 5 Papa Tango traffic to follow at your 12 o'clock.
The Lear 35 is officially supported.
Oh my God.
The BAE 146 isn't, but the Avro RJ is, and the BAE 146 should be very, very soon. And then in terms of a 737, if I want to fly a modern 737, there is that MAX. Is that by iFly?
JetBlue 504 contact Cleveland Center 125.
It does that MAX that I've heard people say it's not perfect, but it's passable. So if I want a 737 for the new sim, I've got one. Yeah, so this performance isn't smooth. I'm getting very jittery performance. But at the very least, I'm not getting those horrific stutters that we were getting on the way in. And the graphics don't look any worse. It's just they're not performing very smoothly. At 19.9. Okay, here we're at 20 miles out, and we're at the point where the river intersects the 20-mile arc. So I think once we get to 21, we'll just turn northbound to about a 341. I'll set that 341 on the green bug there. And then we'll get ready to climb up to 4,500. And we're going out to 341 for 25 miles. That should be 10 minutes. It's 9:18 now, so 9:28 Eastern Time. We should be hitting that at Lake Arthur. I'll bring the map back over here in just a second. 21 is where we are. Okay, let's go. Let's go 22. The mix is already rich. $24. About a 341. Let's look for Lake Arthur. I'll show you the map here in just a moment. It'll be 10 minutes from now, so just about 20 after, so just about bottom of the hour we should see Lake Arthur. Get it trimmed for kind of a cruise climb here. Obviously, normally you climb at about 105, but we're already cooking at 150, 160. We'll just let it go. We're getting tossed around pretty good by the wind here. So anyway, so yeah, we had said we were going to come out to this point where we're 21 miles or greater from the Montour DME station. Turn to a 341, go for 25 miles, which will be 10 minutes. And we're looking for this Lake Arthur up here, kind of east and west lake with a little forked eastern end. Fairly sizable lake, should be pretty easy to spot. And we've got a bunch of airports in the meantime. I mean, we can kind of keep track in the intermediate. We can kind of keep track of our position based on these airports that we're passing, but there's so many of them. Like, I'm concerned I might mistake one for the other and not be sure where I am. This lake and this bridge and this zigzaggy highway and then an airport just north of that that's roughly parallel to our path. So where do we think that puts us?
Center 125.42. 125.42, stay for 07.
I don't know. Are we already up at Butler Farm? I don't think we can be that far north. Are we over the? Was this closed airfield? Cedar Run, maybe?
Departure for David 1385 4 for 5, runway heading.
John at 1385, head for departure, radar contact, climb maintain 14,000, clear Dark Morgantown.
14,000 Dark Morgantown.
Alright, we'll level it at 45. Turn the fuel pump back on. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, we still got good fuel flow. Good. Fuel pump can come back off. Let's just run those last 2 gallons out of the tip tanks. Manifold to 22. RPM to 22. And then we'll lean it out until we're at 14 gallons an hour. Over a little lake there, but that's way too small to be the Lake Arthur that we're looking for. Alright, so we're 22, 22, and 14. Just maintaining this 341. How far off? If I steer a 340 exactly, this says we're doing more like a 335, so let's steer a little bit to the right here. So So it's a old school directional gyro, and it does ever so gradually drift out of alignment. So every 15, 20 minutes, whatever you're comfortable with, you do need to kind of compare what you're seeing here to what you're seeing here. Now in the real world, this will bob and weave around a lot. So you kind of just have to take an average reading. Make sure you're flying nice and straight and level. Take kind of an average reading and then set that here. What do we say? Bottom of the hour, more or less? Okay, so we got about 7 more minutes before we're at this lake. Arthur. Whoops. Noticing that my DME slipped just inside of 20. Get back outside of the Bravo here. Does look like that's our lake, though. So what is this? This is East-West Airport. So this looks like it's Butler Regional, probably. Okay, so if I passed east of Butler Regional, then I'm okay in terms of the Bravo. And I somehow did drift into where I was just clipping that line a little bit. This definitely looks like Lake Arthur. So when we get to Lake Arthur, we're then going to turn to we'll call it a 280 basically for 27 miles. So another 10 minutes. Remember, we get about 2.5 miles a minute in this aircraft. I know the gauge is reading 170, and it's really, probably 180 true airspeed, but this is in miles an hour. In knots, it's probably closer to 150. Actually, we can see it right here. Almost 150. And 150 knots is 2.5 miles per minute. 2.5 nautical miles per minute. So when I see 25 miles, I know that's to divide 25 by 2.5. It's easy. That's 10. So 10 minutes to go 25 miles. At the cruise speed here. Of course, it's all ballpark, my back of the napkin dead reckoning is a lot better than it used to be. Much better at, estimating time, checking time. I mean, I do it informally. A good, proper VFR pilot with proper VFR flight planning, you should be keeping a log as you go. I'm doing it more like mental math, back of the napkin kind of thing, and just informally glancing up at the clock. So not doing it as rigorous as a real world planned VFR flight should be, but I'm getting better at least at remembering to do those estimations and compare those times and realize, oh wait, hey, it's 5 minutes past when I thought I should be passing this waypoint. Something has gone wrong. I should turn back. That kind of thing. Whereas in previous streams, you'll have seen me pressed on for miles and miles and miles, yammering on, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, what should we be looking for again? Oh, yeah, that should have been like 20 minutes ago. What am I thinking? Where am I? Give me a VOR. I know how to find myself. I'll get a VOR here. But now I'm thinking better than I used to be at the visual navigation with that dead reckoning kind of fallback or kind of component to it. We get right over top of the center of the lake. Then it's a 279er. So for starters, so we're 15 degrees left of north. Well, this is showing us more, almost 5 degrees left of north. Alright, hold on for a second. Let's just make it easier on ourselves. Let's just steer due north. This is still showing that we are maybe about 2 degrees left of north. Okay. Alright, and now we want to turn to what? A 279.
Correct, Elk City, triple 2198.
Let's keep the nose up in the turn. Alright, so it's 279, or it's bottom of the hour almost perfectly, and we're going to go for another 10 minutes, so 40 after the hour, 20 till the hour. We should expect to be over the next waypoint, which is going to be splitting the difference between these two smaller lakes, smaller dammed lakes. These dammed lakes everywhere. Okay, so we're pointed where we want to be pointed. Straight off to the west from this lake. So in 10 minutes we should see, you know, one lake to our right, one lake to our left, and maybe ahead to the right we should see this little airport.
3000 on the runway heading out of Allegheny.
Alright, how close are we to running out of fuel in the tips here?
Walker 1108. Departure, good.
Just about out.
Radar, contact, goodbye.
Yeah, we got practically nothing in the tip tanks, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the fuel pump on. And get those back up to the mains. Yet we're still doing good in terms of fuel flow, so we're good there. So basically nothing left in the tips.
Pittsburgh departure, JetBlue 343 with you.
So right where we wanted to be with that. We got a stack off to our left up here.
Contact, fly heading 360.
Heading 360.
Maybe this, I don't know. It doesn't stop. Oh, here's a stack marked up ahead to our right. I don't know. Got a number of height-based obstacles in this region. Yeah, okay, so I can kind of see now that the ground textures are not quite as crisp as they were. I mean, we've eliminated that stuttering for now, but man, it would be nice to be able to run this on high-end settings given the hardware that I've got. But Windows 11 seems to have sapped some of my performance out of my sim. So I guess we'll just have to live with that until we take the plunge and upgrade to 2024. I mean, Heisenberg was joking with us earlier about the other issues that it brings, but it seems like after Sim Update 3, a lot more people are happy with it, and people that have people that have touched Sim Update 4's beta have said that it solves even a few more pending issues, such as the visibility of other traffic. So, Sim Update 4 comes out, I think, you know, we'll probably be pretty happy with it. Right now, my plan is still to stick with 2020 until the end of the calendar year, and then switch kind of over the winter holiday.
343, climb maintain 14,000.
I'll maintain 14,000 for 343.
See, we're headed kind of right for a lake up here. We're supposed to be kind of splitting the difference between two lakes. But let's look. I mean, let's kind of aim for it, right? Here's the other one. Is this one and this one? Is it possible that, yep, and then we've got the airport that's just kind of almost a straight in, just to the left of the right-hand lake. So I would say, yeah, I'd say we are looking at what we think we're looking at here. I don't know that I was that far off course, but I wonder if there's just some northerly winds. Like, is that smokestack being blown right toward us? I wonder if we're getting blown off course. That's one thing I don't really do in these back of the napkin, dead reckoning calculations. It's one thing I really am bad at, is remembering to factor in wind. And we've got quite a bit of it today. We're getting bounced around pretty good by it. So that may have accounted for us tracking further north than we intended to, but it does look like here in about 5 more minutes less, maybe, we'll be splitting the difference between these two lakes, and then we'll be turning on our next course. We got a couple of sizable lakes that we're going to turn toward here. 294 at 17 miles. Be our next waypoint. And I'll tell you what, instead of wrestling the plane down to the south of this lake just so I can hit that waypoint, what else can I do? I can just move the waypoint. That's where we're going to end up. So let's just move it. Okay, so it's going to be a 287 for 18 miles. It doesn't really change the plan too much. But let's just get the arrow and bug out of the way here. Let's just, for the sake of a navigation calibration, let's just do our best to steer a 275. Is this reading a 275 also? It's reading like a 273. So that's pretty good. And then from the center of that northern lake, what did we say? We went 287 for 18 miles. So there's 290, 280, 288, 287. So as soon as we pass over the center of this lake, we'll mark the time, and then we'll turn to a 287. And maybe we'll turn, maybe we'll stay slightly left of that 287, just in terms of a slight wind correction. I mean, we're again looking for a pretty sizable lake up ahead, so we're not going to miss this. What we might do, though, is mistake this for this. So if we're looking for this lake, we should see these two little race courses here. But if we look for this lake with the race courses, and what we see is this lake with the highway that runs right over the middle of it, we'll know that we've got blown further north than we intended, and we'll need to adjust our plan accordingly. And that's one thing that I've learned over the years of doing these VFR events, and particularly the VFR events that we've done in the backcountry bush areas that Downwind Sim and Melvin Leroy have taken us to. What I've learned is that when you have a navigation plan, and you know what heading you're going to turn to, and you know about how long it's going to be, 18 miles, that should be, well, what do we say, 2.5? So 18 miles, and we're going, so if we go for 6 minutes, well, 6 times 3 would be 18. If we go 8 minutes, 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times a half is 4. So about 7 minutes, right? 7, 7 and 7 is 14, and then half again is 3.5, 14, 15, 16, 17 and a half. Okay, so 7 minutes, and we're at 9:38 Eastern Time now, so it's at 9:45, a quarter till the hour, we should be right over top of that next lake. I feel like I can almost see it, right? That look like it's it right there? We're passing just to the right of Youngstown Elser Metro Airport. Yep, we are. Pointed right towards a fairly sizable lake up ahead. Okay, feel good about that. Is there another one to the north? Yeah, well, we said that.
59, contact Cleveland Center 119.87. Have a good flight.
We said that. There's one here, and then there's one to the north that we want to make sure we're not accidentally thinking it is. But we could adjust our plan and go to that one intentionally. And then it's 6 more miles past that. Right? Why not save ourselves if we can see that waypoint? Why not save ourselves a few miles here? And then we can almost make out the one beyond that. So we're going to pass over this one, but then I think we're aiming for the one right ahead of it there. $20 gallons on each side. We're 22, 22, 14. Engine's happy. 3 co-pilots are happy. It's a nice change of pace today. So the settings changes that we made after the first leg do seem to have improved the stuttering situation. And I can see a little bit of a difference, but not much. I'm not displeased. But I can kind of tell that the textures are a little hazy, but it's a little bit of a hazy day, you know. I don't know, it's hard to say. Hard to say that the sim looks that different. It still looks pretty good to me. So I won't complain, I guess. I'll go and between streams. It's going to be a while before we stream again, actually. It'll be off this Friday. By the way, we're also getting to the point where we're about to switch from our Tuesday and Friday schedule that we've been doing for the last better part of this year. We're about to switch back to what we were doing before, which was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday's stream, I will tell you, is our annual World Flight charity stream. Now last year, and we were talking with Fresno Jay earlier, last year I got the chance to fly out to the West Coast and be part of an official World Flight team. This year not going to be able to do that, but going to do what we had been doing in years previous, which was tagging along for just 1 day's worth, and at 12 to 14. There's going to be about a 14-hour stream that we're tagging along with 4 legs of World Flight, just legs 11, 12, 13, and 14. And I'll back up a step for those of you who might not be familiar with World Flight. World Flight is a week-long charity event that happens on the VATSIM network, and it's a week straight, non-stop, 168 hours. It starts and ends in Sydney, Australia, and it takes a week-long trip around the world in somewhere between 45 and 50 legs usually. It is officially participated in by about a dozen, maybe 12 to 15 official teams. The official teams all have full-scale airliner cockpit replicas that they perform this week-long endeavor in, and it's non-stop, but each team has multiple crews, so they're rotating through crews, and that way they're able to keep going non-stop, 45 to 50 legs in succession with only about a 45-minute break in between for a week straight. And they all live stream their trips, and each of the official teams' live streams collects money for charity. So by the end of the week, they've all raised thousands of dollars between the 15 official teams. They raise, tens of thousands and maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars for various charities. Each team has a charity that they are raising funds for. So last year I was able to participate in one of the brand new official teams. This year that team goes by the moniker of Jurassic Jets. They're going to be flying a 747-200, the classic version of the 747. Fresno J going to be a member of that team. Our friend Defective Crayon going to be a member of that team. J Snap, Justin is the kind of the team lead there. Kyle, you might know him as $0 Payware. Kyle, one of the chief architects of that team. Fresno J, again, doing a lot of the construction and engineering work associated with that. So and I got to hang out with them for, I didn't get to stay for the entire week last time, but a good chunk, for 4 days or so of World Flight last year. So anyway, this year won't be able to go out there and do that with them again, but we'll be doing our charity stream. We'll be tagging along with just legs 11, 12, 13, and 14. These are the 4 legs that are going to come through North America. We're going to start in Cancun, Mexico. We're going to go to, I believe it's Cancun to, let me get it in front of me. Cancun to Memphis, Memphis to Detroit, Detroit to Boston, Boston to Halifax. I think that's the drill.
53 Charlie, you can climb maintain 5,000. 5,000, 53 Charlie.
Okay, no, it's Panama to Cancun, Cancun to Detroit, Detroit to Newark, Newark to Halifax. Okay, I was close. So those are the 4 legs I'm going to tag along with. I'm going to be in the Kuro Mod 787-8. And we will be collecting our charity for the day. It's going to be the Animal Allies Rescue Foundation, AARF, ARF, Animal Allies Rescue Foundation of Baltimore, Maryland. You guys know that I talk very fondly about my furry co-pilot crew. 2 of our furry co-pilots over the years have come from ARF. We love them very much. A fantastic volunteer organization here in the Baltimore metro region. Of course, I live just outside of the Baltimore metro region now. All right, what are we doing? We're doing a 353 for 16 miles. Okay, so are we flying about a 305 right now? Yeah, we are. We're good. All right, mark the time at 9:47 Eastern. 353 for 15 miles. 16 miles. So what is that going to be, about 6 minutes? 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times a half is 3. The 6 minutes will be 15 miles. We got 1 extra mile. So yeah, just a little bit more than 6 minutes. So that'll be 53 after. Be another damn lake. All these damn lakes. Oh, I think I can see it. But anyway, so Monday we'll start the Psychic Taco is here. How's it going, man? So we had some really bad sim stuttering issues. Of course, we upgraded last weekend from Win 10 to Win 11, And we've been having some sim stuttering issues ever since. Well, they were really bad on the first leg. I did lower a few graphics settings. I don't see a huge difference. Maybe a little bit more, you know, bland textures in the distance, but doesn't look too bad. But the sim stuttering issue seems to have solved itself at least. So hopefully that solution will persist across other aircraft here. Yeah, so it didn't. The tweaks that I made prior to tonight didn't seem to help Psychic Taco, but I did end up lowering the sim settings some, and that seems to have eased or alleviated the issue. I don't like to. I don't like feeling like I have to sacrifice sim performance because my stupid OS suddenly needs more resources to just run the same crap in the background it was running 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden it now needs more to do the same thing, which is annoying. But whatever, it doesn't seem like it's been too detrimental to lower the settings just a touch, and you know, I can go and lower just a few more, maybe, just to get just a little bit smoother performance. But it doesn't look like we've sacrificed a lot of visuals for that, so I guess I'm okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, to get back to Monday's program. So we're going to start the stream up 9:30. Remember, we're going to be off on Friday. I got a social event I got to go to up in New York on Friday. So traveling this weekend, but Monday will be will be our return to our Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream rotation. B, it'll be our 14-hour charity stream for World Flight Legs 11, 12, 13, and 14, the Kura Mod. We're going to get started at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll have giveaways for each of the 4 flights, and then we'll have a grand prize giveaway for anybody who donates at least $20 throughout the day. And you can, you know, I'm not, you don't get more entries the more you donate. You know, to keep it fair for everyone, anyone who's able to chip in at least $20 in the donation on Monday will get to enter it in for the grand prize. Everybody who donates $20 or more will be on equal footing for that grand prize entry. We'll draw that toward the end of the 4th flight. Penny for penny, every donation goes to Animal Allies Rescue Foundation of Baltimore. I'm not deducting the prize money. I'm not deducting the transaction fees. If you donate $10, you donate $10. If the transaction fee comes out of that, I'll kick it back in to make sure that Animal Allies Rescue Foundation gets every penny that is donated on the stream on Monday. And I will even kick in a little bit above and beyond that, as my wife and I always like to do when we get the chance to. So your donations plus the little extra from me will all go to benefit Animal Allies Rescue Foundation of Baltimore. We'll do a landing rate giveaway for each of the 4 landings, with a giveaway, not just an entry on those, an actual giveaway for each of those 4. And then we'll do the grand prize entry at the end of the stream for all of those who donated during the course of the day. We'll be eligible for that one. All right? That's Monday, 9:30 a.m. start, and probably ending around our normal stream end time of 11 p.m., 11:30, something like that. Should end up being about a 14-hour day, all told. All right, here we are, 9:53 Eastern, just like I said we would be. It's our next maneuver here. And this is where we kind of have to watch out. We're going to stay, and let's go to the Cleveland TAC chart. Let's see, so this is IHPI 20 miles. Okay, so we need to, what's the IHPI? 109.9. And we got to make sure we stay outside of 20 miles. 109.9. Okay, we're not receiving that. For right now, though, we're literally just turning... Are we at this one? Oh yeah, yeah. There's the shoreline. But we already did that 353. Now we're gonna turn to a 323. We want to stay at 4,500. We want to pass above the Cuyahoga County Delta, but we will need to talk to a Cleveland controller to get into Burke Lakefront. Cleveland. Come on, mouse cursor, where are you? Alright. Looks like 19,875. Just in case,
vacated, 6 left Gulf 4,
we need it, 24-3 at Burke Lakefront.
To Cleveland Gulf Alpha, crossing 6 right, and rest your discretion. Good night.
Gulf Alpha, cross 6 right, ramp or discretion, Southwest 2 got.
9544, wind at Cleveland 080 at 6 runway 6 left, clear to land. Roger, first clear to land, 9544.
So once we get over the lake, we can descend without worrying about being in any of those deltas. We're still not receiving that DME. What's our arrival plan into Burke Lakefront? KBKL 080 at 8. We have an instrument approach there. An ILS 24. We'll tune it just as a sanity, but we're really just going to fly a left downwind to the airport there.
Number 326 Juliet, Foxtrot, Cleveland Center.
109.75 and 245.
I don't have a flight plan for you. Spring 5505, clear to Ponsac. Clear for Ponsac.
Okay. So I think I see where we are. I think we're kind of out here near Fairpoint Harbor, so we're well outside of that that delta for Cuyahoga County. You start. I'm almost done. Okay, yeah, here's Cuyahoga County. We'll say we're about 5 miles northeast of Cuyahoga County. Stop. Cleveland Center, Comanche 514 Delta Victor VFR request.
Comanche 514 Delta Victor, Cleveland Center, squawk 4103, and go ahead.
4103 514 Delta Victor. Yeah, we're just looking for full stop at Burke Lakefront. We're just about 5 miles east of Cuyahoga County, 4,500.
Number 514 Delta Victor, your radar contact position as reported.
Stop!
Turn a right, correction left downwind for runway 6 left. Report turn, report misfields, and are you gonna do the Bravo or not?
We'll do a left downwind for 6 left, and we can stay below the Bravo shell, 514 Delta Victor.
4 Delta Victor, roger.
And we'll report that midfield for you also.
Thank you.
Stop. Stop, buddy. So yeah, we're up by Fairpoint Harbor. Go ahead and start a descent here.
Southwest 3920, Cleveland Center left.
Okay, and so yeah, this is that was Cuyahoga County over there. This is that little non-towered field, I guess. This is Lake County Exec here. So we've turned up. Yeah, we knew we were turning further north and east than we needed to, because I had set it to that 323, but we had stayed, you know, kind of well to the right of that. Okay, so 21 miles from our destination. Close and reopen the landing stats thing, just because we did close and reopen the sim, and sometimes we know that that landing stats thing says it's connected, but it's not when that happens, so we should go with that now too. Alright, as we get a beam Burke Lakefront, you know, we want to be down to about 2,500 in order to be below those Bravo shelves.
Southwest 3059 cross Ashes and maintain file level 300.
And then the pattern altitude there is going to be, that's about 600 feet. Stop.
Southwest 2920, clear Jakarta.
Field elevation there about 600, so pattern will be 1,600. Stop. There we go. So tracking down the lake shore now. We get to about 2,500, we'll hold that. And then when we're less than 10 miles out, we can drop it down to 16, and that'll be our pattern entry. Left downwind pattern entry as instructed. Yeah, NAM 106. He's you know, he's up in age. He's in periodic discomfort for a variety of reasons, but he's also just attention seeking as well. On top of all that, I mean, he's got a lot going on, but it's turned him into a bit of a drama queen also.
Number 514 Delta Victor, Berkeley for now, temperature 3016.
3016, 514 Delta Victor. We got the weather there. Thank you.
Sorry, 9544 clear, runway 6 left. 9540 is the vault. 544 up to Cleveland, Golf Alpha to parking crossway 6 right. Have a good night.
I am. So we're still.
So Golf Alpha to parking cross runway 6 right, United 544.
We're still 15 miles out, so I'm not going to slow it down too much yet. I feel like we got our airport right here in sight. It's slightly early, but I would say if you guys want to start putting in predictions into the chat as far as the vertical descent rate at the moment the wheels touch runway surface, you can feel free to do that. There's no bot command necessary on this channel for that, just a number into the chat, positive or negative, that would represent your guess in terms of feet per minute at the moment the wheels touch runway surface. Again, no bot command necessary, minus sign is optional. And the closest predictor is going to be awarded an automatic entry into our bi-monthly landing rate raffle. Next will be drawn, we typically would draw that toward the end of the even numbered months, but in this case we're going to pull that on November the 7th. Alright, so we're coming up, so we're 12 miles out. As soon as we get within 10, I'll go ahead and start the descent. We're going to be at pattern entry at pattern altitude by the time we get to 4 miles out. So there we are within 10. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back the power out. I'm actually going to spin the props up slightly faster. That's going to help us start getting our speed under control as well. Way up ahead, straight off in the distance, you can see the approach sequence lights for Cleveland Hopkins. Essentially on a straight in for those too. If we needed to divert, we'll just keep going. And mix is fully rich now. We'll go ahead and get the fuel pump on, even though it's a little early for that, but I'm gonna make sure I don't forget. Is this our airport right here? Might be. But bring this pattern in just a little closer here. Let's go ahead and get it down to the 16.
Cleveland Center, Delta 88, checking in, sending down to 210 at Parkersburg viewer.
No, maybe not where I'm pointing. Maybe a little further up yet.
Oh, 18, Cleveland
Oh,
Center,
I think it's this right here.
on frequency 125.42, that's the right one. 125.42 for Delta 8, sorry about that. Thank you. Southwest 3059, contact Chicago Center 134.87, connect.
Yeah, okay, there's our field. So let's get back to 1600.
3059, have a great night.
I got the props spun up just a little bit. Got the power backed off pretty low. Gonna let the speed bleed off. Okay, there we are, established on our downwind. Let's get it to 1600. Call that midfield here in just a moment. We're well within gear and flaps range in terms of the airspeed. I'm gonna make sure I have that airspeed under control before I worry about any of that. A little bit high on the pattern altitude. Let's get back down to 16. Okay, there we are. Not quite midfield yet.
Frontier Flight 1240, contact Cleveland Center 125-142, good night.
Finn.
Spirit Ring 5505, contact Cleveland Center 125-142, good night.
125-142, Spoma.
Center 514 Delta Victor, left downwind midfield, 6 left at Brick Lake front.
Number 514 Delta Victor, runway 6 left, clear to land, wind at Brick Lake front 110.
Alright, 6 left, cleared to land, 514 Delta Victor. Alright, we're
Frontier Flight 1240, Cleveland.
within the flaps range. Okay, gear out.
Frontier Flight 1240, contact Cleveland Center 125-142.
Yeah, we've got a flap issue here. Remember, I said that linkage had a lot of play in it when we started. So we're going to have to do a no flaps landing. Okay, it doesn't change much for us. Gears down in green. Speeds are just going to be a little higher than we're used to. It's okay though. Done this before. It really doesn't. It doesn't change a whole lot.
American 508 Cleveland Center, hello.
Interesting location for a church. Finn, enough, buddy. Okay, feeling okay about the slightly higher approach speed. Got a nice long flat runway here, so I'm not concerned about it. Do want to get a little bit of left rudder in, right aileron. Get this off tracking sorted out.
And Cleveland Center, good evening, United 1148. Heavy climbing through flight level 390 for 410.
Okay, a little left of center line. Didn't quite get the crosswind dialed in as much as I wanted to. Stop! Finn, stop.
consolidated this request. We're consolidated, go ahead. Requesting step away for about 5 to 10 minutes. Approved. Thank you.
Get clear of the runway.
License Center Evening, gas flight 71 out of Pittsburgh.
Make sure we hold short of the right side. Go ahead and get cleaned up, flaps.
Flight 71, Cleveland Center.
Strobes, landing, pitot, and fuel pump off.
Subject 430, thank you, gas flight 71.
Good evening, Aeromexico 39er Heavy, flight level 30, direct command, please, VOR.
Aeromexico 39, Cleveland Center, roger. Who's the other one got step on?
So, we're either Delta or Echo, I'm not sure which. Hang on a second, guys.
Air kind of 113, cross cutter and maintain 11 down, description 10,000, Pittsburgh, altimeter 3016.
We're at Delta, if the sign's correct.
Okay, who's calling?
I wasn't, but 514 Delta Victor, we're clear on 6 left at Delta for Burke Lakefront.
Number 326 Juliet Foxtrot, runway 3 left taxi via Mike, cross runway 27 right. Number 4 Delta Victor, welcome to Berkeley, front taxi parking, your discretion, cross 6 right, good night.
High parking on discretion, cross 6 right, 514 Delta Victor, thanks.
Flight level 279, landing flight level 330.
American 3143, Cleveland Center, hello.
Okay, right turn on Golf and then into
Southwest 29,
in the GA parking.
Cross cutter and the maintain 10,000, Pittsburgh, altimeter 3016.
Other thing I can do is
And Air Canada 113 cross cutter and maintain 10,000, Pittsburgh, altimeter 3016.
get the mix lean right to the point where the RPM start to drop.
3016, maintain 10,000, Air Canada 113. Air Canada 113 negative cross cutter at cutter maintain 11,000.
I feel like at one point I did have a freeware add-on scenery installed for this, and this may be it. And that seems like a fairly nice custom model building, more detail there than a default, I would think. We'll park up at the building right next to the control tower, because we're going to do a little tour of the control tower. I mean, I don't know, whatever. That's what we're saying. That's what we'll say we're up to. Oh, good. That car's going to get out of our way.
Endeavor 5272 Cleveland.
Yeah, we'll park right up in front of the main entrance. Why not?
United 2217 Cleveland.
Go ahead, United 2217.
Do you have something for me?
No, I thought you called me.
Oh, I didn't call you, but you can cross cutter and maintain 10,000, Pittsburgh, altimeter 3016.
Roger, cutter at, was that 16,000?
10,000.
Cut at 10,000.
Aero Mexico 39er, contact
okay, we'll take it.
128.22.
Parking brake on.
128.22,
RPM's down to 1,000. Mix leaned out right to the point where it drops. And yeah, we definitely. I said when I did that pre-flight, I said that flap felt like it had more play in it than it should, but it did work in every position. Well, now it clearly is not. So Interesting. And the last time I said that, I was like, oh, let's go into the maintenance. I've identified a problem. Let's go into the maintenance manager and fix that linkage. It didn't offer me the opportunity to do that because it wasn't broken. And then it broke in flight, and we had to do exactly what we just did, which was just land without flaps. So it's just weird to me that it doesn't give you the option to replace a loose linkage. It only allows you to fix a broken linkage. But anyway, I felt good about the handling of that issue. We recognized that when the flaps were coming out, they were coming out asymmetrically, so I pulled them back in. We did a little bit faster than normal speed on touchdown, and everything worked out fine. You would think it would allow you to overhaul stuff before failure. Yeah, and for the most part it does, NAM 106, but in the case of the flap, it did not.
Air Canada 113, that's fine. You're clear, direct cut at Kada, John the Jersey.
In terms of the touchdown, well, I hope you guessed low. 25 is what registered.
Pittsburgh, 3016.
Where were your numbers coming in at? 75, 99, 54, 115, 43, 35. Heisenberg's going to grab it with the 35.
Air Canada 113, you're clear to Pittsburgh Airport via direct Kada, John the Jersey 5 arrival, cross Kada and maintain 10,000. Pittsburgh altimeter 3016.
28th.
Arrival via Kada, cross Kada at 10,000, Air Canada 113.
All right, let's go ahead and get it shut down, and then let's do some maintenance, huh?
Welcome back.
Let's go ahead and get the avionics all off. I believe Heisenberg has it, but you're uncertain. Yes, I know. Well, the act of observing whether Heisenberg has it changes the outcome of whether Heisenberg has it. Right, JG? Alright. Got the avionics all off. Go ahead and get the throttle out. Mix to cut off. Fuel valves, magnetos. Nav and beacon lights. Heisenberg says, did I get it? I'm uncertain because I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I came in at 25, so ye who had faith. Alright, well, let's do a real quick walk around just to place all the static elements, and then we'll go ahead and do the maintenance part, right? And funny thing, like, I should check, and this is a fairly high-end Class Delta airport. I mean, it does have a control tower and everything, so pretty busy Class Delta airport, but we will check, like, what aircraft maintenance services are available here. Okay, oh, nope, out. Go ahead and get the door closed. Come back inside. And we'll get the control lock on. Then, of course, we would exit the aircraft, close the door, and latch the door. So now let's go into the maintenance menu and let's do an airframe check. And it's going to tell us that this flap is broken. Okay, so we're going to click on that left landing flap. Flap is jammed, not airworthy. Let's go ahead and fix. Okay, it said everything else is green, so we're good there. Let's go to engine, and let's do an inspection there. Okay, everything with the engine is still pretty good. So I will go ahead and leave it at that then. That's good. That's better than I expected. For the fact that it was running so rough on the beginning of the first leg, I assume that was just the issue of the fouled... oh, should we do electric system? Is the battery still on? Yeah, I do. Okay. But yeah, it's not saying anything about anything needing repair here, or I don't even know if it would. The magnetos, okay, yeah, the magnetos are on this page. So if the magnetos had any issues, it would have told us on this page. The one magneto was running really, really rough as we were doing our run up at our first departure when we were up at State College, Pennsylvania. But I believe running that lean and at high power for a minute seemed to clear that up. So I was like, okay, well, maybe that's not a bad mag. Maybe that was just a fouled plug, and it seemed to clear itself up. So yeah, I guess everything is fine then. And yeah, we are good. All right, and we fixed that flap, so we should be all set for that next time. What do we end up with fuel-wise? We have just, it's registering still 1 gallon in each tip, so we did good in terms of burning out those to almost nothing, and then switching back to the mains prior to running completely dry in those tips. So that worked out okay. All right, very good. Well, I apologize for my frustration in that first leg in terms of the stuttering that we were getting. I hope that you guys understood and shared my frustration. It does seem like the graphic settings that we changed did help that, and so maybe I'll go through prior to our stream on Monday and look for a few more graphic settings we can knock down. I don't want to knock them down too much. I want the sim to still look nice for you guys, but the performance of the sim is more important than the highest of the high-end graphics, and obviously we want a nice smooth flight to go according to plan and not have any sim glitches or stupid stuttering that makes the sim difficult to watch and enjoy. So we'll find the right balance there, and then, you know, who knows, I'll maybe find some additional settings in Windows 11 that'll cut down on resources needed and continue to work at it. Again, everything was fine until Windows 10 upgraded to Windows 11, and all of a sudden I'm struggling here. So I apologize for that, but I knew it would happen. This is why I held off on doing that upgrade, because I knew that it was going to be the exact scenario. At least I feared that it would be, and I'm very disappointed that my fears have come to fruition in that regard. But anyway, we'll get through it. We'll figure it out. Get a nice little sunset. Yeah, this is a very picturesque airport. I love this little place here. Nice little hidden gem here. It almost reminds me of Cleveland's version of Meigs Field, doesn't it? Right there on the water. Right there by the downtown area. Cleveland saw Chicago's Meigs Field, and they were like, well, we want a Meigs Field too. Okay, well, let's call it Burke Lakefront. All right, friends. Well, as we said, Traveling Friday. Monday is going to be our 12 to 14-hour charity stream. We were talking about this earlier, but I'll go through it all again for those of you who might not have been with us at that point. Monday. So first of all, Monday we go back to our Monday, Wednesday, Friday regular stream rotation. So you can start looking for us 3 times a week rather than 2 times a week, which I'm elated. That's going to help us out a lot in terms of, you know, lately every time I've sat down in front of the computer, I've been like, oh man, I haven't flown this plane in forever, and then I'm fumbling through it. So if we get back to streaming 3 times a week rather than 2, a little bit more often, we can jump on the scopes for you, but also we can stay better about being current in the 5 or so different planes that I fly. So hopefully we'll be fumbling through them less, to a lesser extent each time. Hopefully. I mean, that's the plan anyway. But anyway, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the full show schedule is down in the under the About tab, or it's over on our Discord server as well. Oh, so Qualip says Genoa City Airport in Italy is very similar to this as well. Well, I'll have to check that out at some point. But a beautiful little spot here. But back to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday rotation starting on Monday. But Monday itself, we are doing our 14-hour charity stream to benefit Animal Allies Rescue Foundation up in Baltimore as part of our tag-along for legs 11 through 14 of World Flight. World Flight, 45 to 50 legs around the world, starting and ending in Australia, Sydney, Australia. The 12 to 15 official teams all flying those legs non-stop, one after the other, for an entire week, and they are all live streaming, and they are all collecting for their charity of choice. Simfest UK is one. Jurassic Jets is the one that I was part of the fledgling version of that team last stop. And I was part of the fledgling version of that team last year. Wasn't able to join them this year, but we'll be just tagging along for 4 legs of World Flight on Monday. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which will be 13:30 Zulu time on Monday. We'll go back from standard to east from daylight to standard time, so it'll be 5 hours difference. 13:30 Zulu, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we'll be tagging along for those 4 legs, and I had it all wrong when I was giving it to you last week. It was Cancun. I'm sorry, it's Panama to Cancun, Cancun to Detroit, Detroit to Newark, Newark to Halifax, Nova Scotia. Those are the 4 legs. We'll be in the Curramada of the 787. We're going to have a giveaway, which with each of those 4 landings, we're going to do a giveaway, not just a raffle entry, but an actual giveaway for each of those 4 landings. And in addition, any donation of $20 or more gets you qualified for the grand prize drawing toward the end of the stream. And you know, it's going to be even playing field. If you donate 20 or more, you're eligible on a level playing field with anybody else who donates 20 or more. All of the donations go straight to the Animal Allies Rescue Foundation of Baltimore. I will cover any transaction fees that are incurred in that process, and I will also chip in a little of my own at the end of that. And of course, I'm furnishing all the prizes. I'm not deducting the prize money out of that pool. All of that pool goes to ARF, and then I'll furnish the rest on top of that. So Monday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, that's when we will see you. In the meantime, who are we going to send the raid over to? Let's see. Melvin Leroy is still streaming, or is he wrapping up? He looks like he might be taxiing in right now. What's Stu up to? He's doing the VATSIM air traffic control for Indy Center, which is next door to Cleveland, so he's still got some planes in his airspace. So we'll shoot you over to Stu 222 doing some VATSIM air traffic control just west of where we are here, and let him take you home as far as your plans for the rest of this evening. All right, so the rest of this week, this coming weekend, have a great rest of the week, and this coming weekend we will see you on Monday for our massive charity stream. But in the meantime, be happy, healthy, and safe in all of your travels and adventures in the meantime, and I will do the same as I go up to upstate New York and back, and then we'll see you back here on Monday. All right, friends, take care, good night, and signing off live from Studio 5, just outside of Ocean City, Maryland. We'll make sure you tell Stu that we send our love. Thanks. Good night.